All right. Hello to all the VOD watchers in here. Just want to let you guys know a couple things before we get started. One, there's about 30 minutes in this VOD until the event actually starts, so I will include a timestamp in the pinned comment down below of when the actual games start, because I like to start a little bit early to let you guys come in and stuff like that. And that's my phone going off right there. But also on top of that, I am in like less than 12 hours also going to be competing in an online regional on stream. So I'm going to bed right after this tournament. Usually I get like round one done in the individual videos, but I'm not going to do the individual videos right away because I need to get at least a couple hours of sleep before the incoming tournament. But as everybody's coming in here and saying hello, please make sure to say hi in the chat, whether you are here on Twitch or you're here on YouTube and whatever platform you're on. We are less than 200 subscribers away from 20,000, so please make sure to subscribe if you are enjoying the content. What's up, Dark Show? How you doing today? Good evening. Hope you're doing well, friend. What's good? What's good? All right, time to tweet and post. Let's see. I got a post on here. I got post here. There we go. Perfect. So for anyone who does not know as well, this is the final OP13 Japan Championship. EBO3 has just released out in Japan, and because it just released out in Japan, that means next week for the Hiroshima Japan Championships, which I believe should be streamed and we will cover on the channel, should be EBO3 format. So very exciting. I also know confirmed by Bandai and by the official One Piece trading card game accounts that there will be some OP14 reveals today. I don't know if it's the couple cards that they revealed earlier or if it is new cards, but either way, pretty excited. Yo, what up, Mikey? JK, what's good? How we doing, everybody? Welcome on in. Also, Stretch, before the stream, hit the follow button on Twitch. Appreciate it. You guys got movie star Morticia in your viewings tonight. But I hope everybody's having a good night. I'm excited for this championship. Yeah, I would assume it's probably more leaders today, Sup. I would agree with that. It wouldn't surprise me if they revealed one more leader. I don't know if they would do the rest of them, but probably one more. The next leader that they revealed too probably determines whether or not the one artist who put out all the proxy leaders, if he like really knows something. I mean, he probably does know something that he shouldn't, but I don't know. Oh my gosh, Dorcas, chat, for anyone who does not know, I saw the Chainsaw Man movie today, and I love Chainsaw Man. It's my favorite anime of all time. And the movie was everything that I wanted it to be. I know, I like went back to my car, and then when I had the realization that I would never watch that movie again without having the impression already that I had watched the movie, I like wanted to cry. I legitimately like almost started crying in my car. It was kind of wild. It was weird. I think that the leader effects are real. I don't think the leader arts are real. I think the leader effects are real though. Because I think the Doflamingo basically solidified that, like, yeah, this guy knows the leader effects, right? And it's possible too that the colors are real. Because of that, but the arts, I don't think the arts are real. Because if the arts were real, it wouldn't have the artist's name like in the corner, it wouldn't have an artist name if they were just doing like manga panel shots. But also on top of that, the Doflamingo one like breaks the wall or whatever of the card. None of the leaders do that. So I don't believe the leader arts, but I'll believe the leader effects. But I also don't 100% believe anything until it's officially revealed. You know? Yo, Alonzo, what's good? Mr. Butthead, how are you today? Gonna watch Chainsaw Man on Sunday? Oh my god, Alonzo, it's so good. It is, as someone who has read Chainsaw Man, like I've read through the Reze arc, I knew everything that was gonna happen in the movie. It was everything I wanted to be and more. Yes, correct, Demo, yeah. I think in the leaks that did happen, I think all the leader effects are real, but I don't believe the arts. I think the arts were just, you know, random. Not necessarily random, but like, you know, I mean, if you want to guess manga, right, that's the most believable kind of art that you can do. So you just grab like some of the manga panels that you have the ability to close up. And you put them on, you slap them on the PSD file, the Photoshop file. Yeah, I don't know how he knows the leader effects, but he definitely should not have, in my opinion, he should not have put his advertising his stuff, because that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Pokemon does that all the time. I don't know if Bandai would, but I would not have attached your handle to the card. You want more Luffy leaders? You know what? Fair. He is the main character. He should have a lot of leaders. He is getting a new starter deck, though. Starter deck 29 and 30. There's that. I want a Kuma leader as well. I know, the movie was so good, Michael. It was so good. I mean, like the big fight too, which is not really a big fight. It's like 40 minutes of, I won't say it anymore, but the big fight was one of the best fights I've ever seen in anime. I'm going to be honest. And I don't think that's recency bias or anything like that. I genuinely, like, sound design, the animation, Mappa, man. Yes, Dofi is official now. It was posted in our Discord server because we have the, let's see, window capture. Let me click this. It was posted in our, where is it? There it is. It was posted in our Discord server because we have the cards that get revealed get automatically uploaded to our Discord server. So yeah, the Dofi got officially posted. And I saw the One Piece trading card game tweeted out. I saw the One Piece trading card game tweet out those cards earlier. You know, someone's getting sued. I don't know if they would find whoever like leaked it, but they'll find whoever knew about it. That's for sure. Ooh, how was Aquabats, Alonzo? The movie is like an hour and 55 minutes long, I think it is. I think that's what I saw. It's like a 2-hour movie. It's pretty good size. And honestly, I was pretty impressed by it because, like, when you fit a whole arc in one movie, you're like, oh, it has to be a long movie. But I think they did a really good job with the pacing, in my opinion. First impression. Yo, what up, Lancelot? How are you? Thoughts on who we're getting the manga for? It's hard for me to say because I haven't seen One Piece. So I think of like 7 Warlords of the Sea. I was like, who is impactful during that time? you know, because I think the easy answer is like Doflamingo. And I think Doflamingo is actually probably a safe answer, you know? I think Doflamingo is a pretty safe answer. I'll final answer Doflamingo. The Dofi art is so good. I actually think the base Dofi art is like a top 3 base art for a leader in the One Piece trading card game. Hands down, without question. Croc manga? Croc manga would be cool. Yeah, I think Dofi's I think Dofi is the safe bet. But chat, the live stream for this championship is going to start in about 20 minutes. Just to let you all know, it's going to start in about 20 minutes. We will stream the whole thing. And if you didn't hear me in the beginning, when I first started stream, maybe you're coming in, you know, getting ready for the championship. I'm competing in the online regional in like less than 12 hours from now. So after this live stream, I'm going straight to bed. I usually edit like the individual videos before I go to bed. I'm not doing that at least right away tomorrow. I'm going straight to bed so I can get a couple hours of sleep before the regional starts. Yo, Cheapy, what's good? Jameson, how are you? Yeah, the base leaders have been pretty good the last couple sets, I think. I would agree. If they keep it heroes, it's possibly Jimbe or Mihawk. I'd be curious in OP13 if it was Jimbe, right? Because Jimbe's a warlord. Jimbe's a 7 warlord of the sea. And people have been like, where's my Jimbe leader? Bah! So they could like throw a bone to those people to like just give him a manga randomly. Sorry, chat, my glasses are blurry. I literally can't see you right now. At least while I clean my glasses. There we go. I can see you guys again. If they do it a villain, it's Dofi. You go with Crocodile. He's a pretty big warlord. Crocodile's like the only warlord that I know because I've been through the Alabasta arc. He's like the only one I know. Oh, yeah, he is in Impel Down, isn't he? Oh, yeah, Jimbe's a former warlord. Yeah, because he joins the Straw Hats. So then he is not a warlord anymore. Dofi Croc manga would be insane. What if they made the 8-cost Croc Mihawk from the Buggy starter deck? What if they made that the manga, chat? What if they made that the manga? How crazy would that be? Do you think people would lose their minds? Ooh. Chad, who's playing in the online regional tomorrow? Oh, it could be Boa. It could be Boa. But she already has one. I don't know. I feel like Boa is not a strong contender. Like, I know Luffy has repeated mangas. Shanks has repeated manga. Has anybody else repeated a manga? Nami only has one. Sanji only has one. I feel like Boa's not a high likelihood to be a manga. I think Trafalgar Law is... no, I don't think Trafalgar Law is more likely. Trafalgar Law already has 2 mangas, right? He was the... Trafalgar Law was a manga in OP05 and OP10, right? Am I crazy? Yeah, Law has 2. Yeah. 7 mangas, 1 for each warlord. I mean, the way that they've been doing the One Piece trading card game lately, like OP13 has like the bajillion mangas and the bajillion different rarities. You have the Gege Akutami, like 5 elders, right? Like the way that they've been doing things lately, sure, they could go 7 different mangas. Oh, yeah, Ace does have multiple after 13, yeah. Sabo does too, yeah. Yo, Niblo, Rosie BDIF. I was watching chat. If you don't watch Koi Lectables, you should watch her first off. But I was watching this video that she posted today before the stream, and I saw two people playing Rosinante in the video. I saw two people playing Rosinante, and I know one of them because I gave one of the guys the list because he's my friend. So I thought that was pretty cool. Rosinante to the moon. Yeah, the anniversary set has been awesome. I'm getting a case of 13 chat for a specific content reason. Just to let you all know. And I'm so excited for it. When the video comes out about it, I really need you to like, comment, subscribe, though, because it's going to cost me a lot of money, and I need to recoup that money. No. It's very like it's very like over keeping your hopes too high for 7 mangas in the 7 Warlords, but like I've heard more surprising things in the last 24 hours, I feel like, you know. Also, Dark Platinum, did I say hi to you? Good morning or good evening? Depends on where you are in the world. Hope everybody's doing well, chat. What's my early thoughts on the Mihawk leader at the moment? I thought the leader effect was kind of underwhelming, but the event that did get posted, chat, 1 cost, rest 3 dawn, KO a 7,000 power or less, that's pretty good. KOing a 7,000 power or less, pretty good, especially because you know that 1 cost Perona is going to get slotted in there, right? Because he's a slash type leader, which can find green events. So, I don't know. I mean, I need to see more cards for Dracula Mihawk because green slash specifically is in a really good spot. I just thought the leader effect was like a little underwhelming, but yeah, rest 3 of your cards, not even dawn. Yeah, explain. Yeah, that's a huge thing. Like, you can rest your 1-drop searchers. You can rest your leader. I don't know if you want to rest your leader, but you could rest your leader. Like, it's literally anything. It's any card. It could be a stage. I genuinely think that Dracula Mihawk is going to get a stage that he will play that you're just always using. Yeah, for the East Coasters, it's morning. It's technically morning for me now, too. It just hit midnight. I did Purple Alligator. I think the Dofi art is a top 3 regular art leader in the One Piece trading card game. And I'm willing to die on that hill. Also, I think the leader effect is pretty good. Especially with the stuff that we already have in Purple Doflamingo or Purple Don Quixote Pirates, I think it's a pretty good leader. Yeah, you could abuse the no arc stage for sure. Yeah, I mean, even if he doesn't get a like a Muggy Kingdom stage in this set in OP13, he's gonna play a stage, right? Like, because that's a card every single turn that is more than likely not going to get removed off the field that he can just constantly utilize. Yeah, on the Thriller Bark hours. Hey, it's spooky season, chat. Halloween's coming up. Halloween's like next week. There is a Wano stage, actually. Yeah. Hold on. Let's go to the deck builder. Since we're still waiting on the tournament to start. Green stage. Yeah, there's this stage. I mean, who cares? You know, you can play this stage. You could play Birdcage maybe. No, your leader's not Don Quixote. This is is this one of the best stages? I don't know. I don't know if you play this one. I think this one is probably the most ideal at this point if you're going to play a stage in Dracula Mihawk because it only costs 1. I think that's why you would want to. I think that's why you want to play this stage. I don't know. I mean, Noah's Ark is really, really funny, but I don't think it would work. I don't think it would work in a sense. Yeah, OP13 pre-releases next weekend. Is it next weekend or this weekend? What day is it? Oh, yeah. It is next weekend. Yeah. It is next weekend. Next weekend is November 1st. Next weekend is Halloween. Yeah. I'm not going to be playing in any pre-releases. Because I'm cooking up all of my extra funding chat is going to this OP13 case for the coolest video that will ever be posted on my channel. So far, I guess. Also, Dex, what's going on? Well, I mean, it's hard to give a fair evaluation of Mihawk until we actually see like the set. Hey, thank you for the kind words, Rosen. Appreciate it. Where's the new Pokemon, Mr. Streamer? Right here, Hunter. Right here. I haven't played it as much as I wanted to. I want to play it a lot more than I have been. I've only played like 3-4 hours. It's kind of weird. Like, I do love the leader diversity that we have right now in the format. But there is something to say in OP13 when you go to a tournament and you know what you're going to expect, right? Like, there is something about that of correctly evaluating a meta of what deck you expect to see a ton of. And like, you know, when you build the perfect counter deck to Emu and you correctly call that you're going to see Emu 7 times in an 8-round tournament, like that is awesome. And that's part of like trading card game skill. So you like, oh my gosh. All right, so about 10 minutes until the actual tournament starts, chat. So it's like on one hand, yes, I hate losing everything in the meta, but I also love that I like a triangle meta. I don't like a 2 or 1 deck meta. I have seen Wolfie's video, Hunter. Yeah, it's a huge problem in Pokemon that I would imagine that Pokemon is going to be addressing very, very, very soon because of the attention that it's getting, which there should be a lot of attention, to it. There's like I can understand people who hate jungle metas, and I can understand people who hate triangle metas. OP13 feels like rotation before rotation. That's fair. Yeah, Zoro's part of the triangle. If you do not know, OP13 is very much dominated by Emu, Red, Blue Ace, and Green Zoro. That's like the big 3. And I think, honestly, Zoro is the worst deck of the big 3. I think he barely makes the big 3. Zoro's like one of those decks that's really good in the beginning of the format and then constantly like is positioned lower and lower as the format goes on. Yeah, exactly. Like if you can correctly like okay, so here's how a triangle meta goes to where you can pick a rogue deck. Like your rogue deck needs to beat at least one deck, right, in the triangle. And if you can predict that one of the 2 decks in a tournament, because it's triangle format, so the most dense population is going to be 2 of the 3 decks, right? And then those 2 are going to rotate between the 3 every single tournament. If you can correctly predict the 2 and one of those is your ultimate winning matchup, you can do an incredible run with incredible timing with a rogue deck, right? Which can only happen in a triangle meta. It's very hard for a deck like Blue-Green Rosinante or or something of the sort to do really well in a jungle meta. Because you could be like me, where in the LCQ, you just face 500 blue-purple Luffys and no Bonnies, and so you just lose. I also prefer playing off-meta decks. Yeah, matchup luck is huge in a jungle meta. No, EBO3 cards, because they just released yesterday in Japan, they will be legal next weekend. Chat, let me tell you, the next several weekends, next weekend, we will be live for the Hiroshima Japan Championship. The weekend after that, November 8th, is the Aichi Japan Championship. We'll be legal for that. November 15th is the Miyagi Championship. We'll be live for that. November 22nd is the Hokkaido Championship. We'll be live for that. November 29th and the 30th, somewhere in that time, is going to be the Tokyo Championships. We'll be live for that. The next, 5 weeks, we have Japan Championships. And I will be live for all of them. Let me get ready. I'm going to move Spotify on my side to be able to mute it right away. But yeah, chat, EBO3 will be legal next weekend. Next weekend. And I will be posting EBO3 content as well leading up to that championship on the channel. So if you want to see EBO3 content, including deck lists, strategies, what I'm seeing, what the meta is looking like, right, from other players and videos and stuff that I've seen showcasing different deck lists and strategies and stuff with the different updates, please make sure to subscribe. We are less than 150 subscribers away from 20,000 on the channel, which is a huge accomplishment. So appreciate all the support lately, chat. Tell your grandmother, tell your cats, tell your dogs, tell your ants that live underground or something. Tell your cards on the wall to subscribe to the channel. I am probably going to be playing, it looks like at this point, Red-Black Sabo and or Blue-Green Sanji. Zoro Sanji. That's what I'm thinking about playing in 13. Yeah, Red Zoro is kind of in that same way. You're playing Usopp at the next regional? Yeah, exactly. Right now, you're able to play those more niche leaders. Sorry, Morticia. My ants live underground. I was talking about ANTS. I'm so excited for this tournament, chat. Chat, this is going to be the first major championship that we watch in Japan. There's different other 1v1s that have happened, like Malaysia and stuff. But in Japan, this is the first 1v1 Japan championship that we've seen in OP13. We have only seen 3v3s in this tournament. So it's going to be interesting to see if in this championship there are any big surprises that happen, right? I'm excited. We do have a Kudra Searcher Purple Alligator. Gloriosa from OP07. I used to play it in my Nami deck. Back when OP07 first came out for Blue Nami. I'm not in any trainer battles. I am rank W Hunter in Legends ZA. I have not done any battles. And I don't know when I will do them. Yeah, Cake Bevins, they did say on the official Twitter account that there would be more reveals. Now, they didn't... It's kind of weird because, like, they could specify... They could reveal the cards that they did, like, 2 hours ago. Like the Dofi leader, they could reveal that, and that is their reveals. But typically, they reveal brand new cards for the first time. Oh, it wouldn't surprise me to see UP in the top 8. I think UP's a really good deck with the Roger. The 8-cost Roger. Yeah, you got a Searcher. I've watched a couple blue yellow boa games, and it looks pretty cool. I think it's a little hard to say, Davio, because Japan gets these cards and they immediately have to figure out the meta, right? They get these cards and they immediately have to start figuring out the meta for the championships. Whereas, like, people out here in the West, people have been playing ranked OP13 ladder for, like, the last month, right? Like, we have so much time to play with these cards. All right, chat, it is starting. The championship live stream. Getting on in. Oh, I gotta first of all, get rid of the starting soon. And then me. Season 2. There we go. Hopefully you're all enjoying the stream. I want to see the alternate art so bad. I know, I want to see the Kuma leader as well. You've been liking Blue Purple King? King is cool. I don't have any opinions about the Crocodile leader because there's no official Crocodile leader out. I'll have an opinion once there's an official reveal. Not to say that the leaks were not real, but I only believe things, in my opinion, when, like, official sources put them out. But I do think his leader effect is... His assumed or leaked leader effect is very interesting. Can I get that hashtag? I can. Okay, because I will be posting the deck distribution on Twitter. The Japan Area 2 tournament in Fukuoka. Just getting my tweet ready, chat, for when it's time to tell you all what the deck distribution for Top Cut looks like. But chat, hope everybody's having a good night. What are you guys excited about in OP13? Also, this sweatshirt is so sick that this guy's wearing. If Crocodile, that's his leader, needs Rayleigh tier support because he has no synergy at the moment. Yeah, because there's no, like, black Baroque work cards besides the couple of them. He needs a lot of stuff. He could just use, like, generic good black cards, right? Like, I mean, we see Rob Lucci, right, is a prime example of, like, he doesn't have to use the CP engine. He just uses generically good black cards. I am also jealous of Gavin right here. He is fluent in both English and Japanese. I think he lives in Japan, right? But if I was truly jealous of him, I would probably spend a lot more time studying Japanese, which I need to get better at studying Japanese. I know, I need him to give me that hoodie too, Hunter. Oh. So, Chad, if you do not know, always at the beginning of these championships, they talk about like the prize cards, the qualifying on the line, things like that, maybe some other important future dates, stuff like that. For Castiori, for Blue Nami Swan. I don't know. That Nami getting the new Nami card and the Robin is pretty awesome. And the Searcher event. No. I'm saying I was talking about like the leader Rob Lucci. Like the leader Rob Lucci uses generic black cards. So I think Crocodile is probably going to also use some generic good black cards. Now it's very, I can't remember what the Crocodile's effect was off the top of my head, but I know it was like -10 something, and then I think it was like you can't KO characters during the turn or whatever. But there's definitely cards that are generically good that just lower cost, right? That don't KO anything. You just need to lower the cost and get there to be like a 0 cost character on the field or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, I mean at Worlds it's probably going to be pretty easy. Like I know a ton of people that go to Japan and stuff and they're not fluent in Japanese. They just know how to get by like ordering things or asking for directions, stuff like that. But me, I want to, when I go to Japan, I want to be able to speak. I want to have conversations with people. I want to go to locals and talk to the locals. Yeah, like he can't KO characters, but his whole, like it seemed like with a lot of the revealed cards. Ooh, this is the deck distribution right here, chat. This is the overall deck distribution. Gosh dang it. There we go. Still playing, right? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm sure Google Translate gets you pretty far out there. Let's see. This is overall. Overall deck distribution. Ooh, Ace is the #1 deck, chat, by 6%. Oh, this is the top 16 right here. So it looks like Ace is the #1 deck. There's only 3 emus out there. What is this? Oh, this is 1 each. This is the top 16. There is a blue, purple Luffy and a Bonnie. Top 16 deck distribution. Sorry, chat, I'm tweeting. Trying to get clout on Twitter. 7. Ace. Let's see. 4 green Zoro. 3 Emu. 1 UP Luffy. 1 Bonnie. All right, now I'm looking at you guys again. If you haven't seen the show, how'd you get into the game? That's a really good question. I just heard that there was a new card game coming out. I decided to learn how to play the card game. I love the card game. I think it's very, very fun and interesting and skill expressive. And there's a lot of different things that you can do with the different decks that you could build. And so I fell in love with the game. And then therefore, because I fell in love with the game, started getting invested into characters like Rosinante, Shanks, or not Shanks, Sabo, right? And then therefore fell in love with One Piece. Yeah, the one green deck is Bonnie. Bonnie's still clutching up. That's my girl. Speaking of Bonnie, we're going to be seeing Bonnie in this top 16 match. The only Bonnie inside the top cut of this championship. Bonnie, especially with PRB02, got a nice addition in that 3-cost blocker. Bonnie hasn't really seen too much play in OP13 comparatively to OP12 and PRB, but some excellent pilots like this one making their way into the top tables here. So going to be checking that out. We're going to see how influential that leader effect is, right? Especially with different decks that run blockers like Emu and Ace, being able to rest those blockers on the attack, no matter the cost or anything, can be very, very good. And with 10-drop Doflamingo as well on top of that, could be nice. Yo, what's up, 3-8? Ooh, but Bonnie going to be going against Zoro. So this is going to be definitely an interesting matchup that you can even apply probably a lot in OP12 if you're playing in the booster box regional in just a couple hours, right? Going to be really interesting to see, especially Bonnie interacting with Zoro, right? Bonnie's leader effect resting Zoro entirely could be pretty bad for the Zoro, right? If you can't get to utilize your leader effect. In terms of the OP12 statistics right here, Zoro has a 45% win rate against Bonnie in the PRB02 format, according to OP Bounty statistics. So going into this matchup, looks like it's probably going to be Bonnie favored in this. We'll see if Zoro can do anything about it, though. Zoro definitely getting a lot of good cards in OP13. Starting off with the Bonnie's hand, though, you've got the 1-drop searcher, you got a couple Koshiro blockers, right, as well as a 3-cost protection Tashigi and a Hody Jones. Hody Jones not being searchable in this deck is nice to have in hand for when you do want to go very, very aggressive. Is going to be nice if Zoro tries to block her up at all, right, with different cards like Trafalgar Law or maybe a Koshiro of their own. Not too bad of a hand, but you're really looking for a 5-cost. So that 1-drop Bonnie, as soon as you get to play it down on the field, going to be trying to find something like a Cavendish, right, to be able to get this deck going. Yo, how's it going, Reborn Slayer? Super. I'm cheering for Bonnie as well. We've got the Zoro hand right here. Zoro got a couple Koshiros, as I was mentioning earlier, and a 5-drop. Tashigi cannot complain about that, as well as that event. Luffy will be king of the pirates, but does have the OP13 Trafalgar Law. If you don't know what this card is, this is the card on the very left side. 6-cost, 6,000 power. When your life is at 1 or less, this character gains blocker, so very good blocker in the late game, but on that on play, if you put a character back into your hand, you can play a character with the cost of 5 or less rested on your field, which is oftentimes either Cavendish or Tashigi, right? It's a really good way to swarm out the field, pick up your searchers. So pretty decent hand, I feel like, from both sides, we'll say. And Bonnie going first is just going to go ahead and play that Bonnie down, pass off the turn. Zoro going into his 2-Dawn turn, probably just going to play a Koshiro right here, I would think, right? Just to get a blocker body on the field, make them think a little bit more on like the leader effect and stuff like that. Could be doing some stuff there, but just decides to pass, does not want to play that Koshiro blocker down. So we go into 3 now. So Bonnie thinking about what they want to do. They could go 2 for Koshiro, 1 for the 1-drop Bonnie, right? Because there's no other character on the field. There's no reason to leave 1 Dawn up for your leader effect, right? Because as soon as leader swings, you have to use it or lose it basically for that situation because there's no rush in the deck. And, well, it just wouldn't work out. So Bonnie on this search is going to be bottom decking a couple Tashigis and finds another Bonnie. So we could just see this Bonnie get played down right away after this 5K swing to be able to do even more searching, dig deeper in the deck with the Bonnie. And so this 5K swing, the Zoro is going to take no trigger on that. Looks like it's a Kuina in the hand, and the other searcher SP Bonnie going to be going in and doing some searching on their own. So instantly goes ahead and grabs the Cavendish, right? Does want that 5 cost on the field. Going to be very nice for the next turn on their 5. Passes off to the Zoro. The Tashigi is a prize card they got in, I believe, flagships. I don't know where it's coming out in English. So Zoro now getting the 3 cost Dracula Mihawk, usually a pretty good card, right, within the deck, allows you to go ahead and play something like a 4 cost Zoro onto the field. But with only Searcher Jewelry Bonnies that are there, is there really a reason to play the Dracula Mihawk at this point right now? So goes ahead, swings at that Bonnie to be able to get the KO and might try to do some sort of setup play, right, where you place something down on the field. Could go double Koshiro, right, just to get the blockers up, maybe eat one of the swings that are coming in, especially with not too much counter in hand outside of the Trafalgar Law and the Kuina. And so is just going to do exactly that, play both of those Koshiros down and pass off the turn. Now is a situation where Bonnie can start leaving that 1 Dawn up for the leader effect, and we see a little bit of Supernova search in this Bonnie deck. Some of the Bonnies in OP13 are running the 2 cost starter deck Kid and Killer search, right, that we saw in the Bonnie starter deck. And also we see in the hand a Stun Bonnie. Stun Bonnie is going to be really nice, looking like a very interesting list of Jewelry Bonnie, a little bit more abstract than what we've seen traditionally, looking pretty good in this game. The Stun Bonnie going to be very nice to be able to freeze one of Zoro's Dawn or characters heading into the turn. Is going to be nice to minimize the amount of swings coming at him. And so starting out with a 5K swing right here, going to try to get a 1K or life, and a life it is going to be. Getting a Tashigi in the hand, that's that 2K Tashigi for the protection. Now what this Bonnie can do is go in with a 5-drop Cavendish, right? Use 1 Dawn to go ahead and search with the Bonnie, and then leave 1 Dawn open to be able to utilize for leader effect later in the turn. So is going to go ahead, rest 5 for that Cavendish, like I mentioned, restand it 2 Dawn as active per the Cavendish effect because you're a supernova. Then I really got to think that you probably spin the Bonnie again, right? You try to look for another card, try to eat up another swing. But no, goes ahead, plays down the 2 cost Koshiro. And so now Zoro going into his 6th Dawn turn could go ahead and play that Trafalgar Law, right? Would be able, with the Trafalgar Law, pick up a Koshiro, even though you don't really want to pick up a blocker, but would be able to play down Tashigi, right? Tashigi would rest the blocker or maybe the Cavendish, and you'd be able to pressure board a little bit, right? Getting plenty of different swings in. So it looks like he is going to be going with the play of Trafalgar Law and Tashigi. We'll see what Tashigi actually rests, if he goes in and rests the Koshiro blocker or the Cavendish. You probably want to put the pressure on the Cavendish, I feel like, at this point, right? You want to eat up a lot of cards in hand, not too many free KOs in a sense, and so is going to go ahead, play that Tashigi down on the field, and with Tashigi is going to rest the Cavendish, and 3 rested Dawn going to the Zoro leader. Now with this 8K swing, can go ahead, pressure the Cavendish, and be able to restand right on that activate main, because even though a block redirected the attack at Cavendish, you did still battle a character in Bonnie going down to 4 life. So you kept your Cavendish alive, which is very nice, and you were able to utilize the block a little bit. So not terrible for the Bonnie right now. And so now we move into the next turn. Does get a blocker Bonnie to be able to potentially draw some cards. We'll see when the stun Bonnie comes out. I'm really interested in the stun Bonnie of when exactly you want to play it in this matchup. Right? Because it can be good to be able to knock any deck really off of their curve, right? Being able to stun a Dawn, give them one less Dawn to work with heading into their next turn. But also stunning a character could be really nice, right? If you stun this Tashigi, then the Tashigi wouldn't be able to swing 7 at you in the next turn, especially when you don't really have any blockers in the face of the Zoro right now. So Bonnie now sitting at 7 Dawn. Still at 4 life right here. Could just slam down Hody Jones. I think that'd be a bad idea, by the way. But could do it. Could do it if he wanted to. Marry Me. I don't know if they have the illustration Mihawk in Japan. I don't know, actually, if they do or not. And so is just going to rest. He's actually going to do the Hody Jones. I was actually making a joke. I didn't think he'd actually do it. But decides to be on the aggressive. Rest the Koshiro and the Trafalgar Law. Maybe face is the place at this point. Maybe he's just going to go aggressive. He's still sitting at 3 life. Do a 6K swing with Cavendish. Do maybe like a 6K swing with Bonnie Leader. And then another 8K swing with Hody Jones. So starting off with that Cavendish swing, has a fair amount of counter in hand, right? So he doesn't have to take a ton of life, but especially if this is all going at lead, it's going to be maybe 1 or 2 life that you're going to have to take on this turn. And maybe especially in the Zoro matchup, maybe you just go more aggressive. So uses the 2K Mihawk to get out of that swing. Still has a fair amount of counter in hand with the 2K Tashigi, the Kawinas, and a Koshiro. So quick math, that's 5K total in the hand. Those 3 cost events are going to pose a problem. Ends up thinking about just spinning 1, or actually swinging 1. Is going to swing the Bonnie at the Koshiro, right? Trying to get this off of the field, right? Especially when you don't have back-to-back turns at Hody Jones. This Koshiro is going to be able to cause a problem, right? Bonnie doesn't really have the resting potential as Zoro does for a lot of these cards, so the chum blocker going to have a little bit more value. So if you counter out of this 1K swing at your Koshiro, you could potentially redirect another attack like Leader or the Hody Jones at the guy, but decides not worth saving, ends up letting that Koshiro go. And now the Bonnie swinging 5 potentially at lead. Maybe thinking about playing a Koshiro of their own to end out this turn, just not utilizing Leader effect. And so is going to go ahead, counter out with that Koshiro blocker. And now Hody Jones, got to think about where you want to swing. Could go ahead and swing at either the Tashigi or the Law, right? But think aggro is probably the game plan for this Bonnie at this point. Just try to get him on the race. So is maybe thinking about 1 and swing 9. It would make sense to me if you attach 1, swing 9. At like the Trafalgar Law, right? It would command 2 2Ks to be able to get out of the swing. Just 2 cards for a deck that often has many bricks in hand. But it looks like swinging at the Tashigi. So could get out of the swing with the 2K, 1K, right? Tashigi and Kuina. But wouldn't be left with too much more in the hand after that. Only 1K. But you probably want to keep this Tashigi alive as long as possible, especially for the clapback in this game. And so is going to go 2K, 1K to get out of the swing, pass with the 1 Dawn open. And that 1 Dawn for the Bonnie Leader effect is going to be very nice because you can neutralize one of these swings coming at you in the next turn. We see a 0 cost event for the Zoro. Is definitely a nice card, but especially with this hand, Zoro is not developing bodies on this turn. That's going to be a key factor right now. But with the 3-cost event, maybe he just goes in and swings a couple times, either at these characters or at the Bonnie life to be able to race down, right? If they're going to race you, maybe you just go all in because you've got those extra swing events. He had these 2 restand events in his starting hand, Mississippi. It was kind of crazy. So the Bonnie, sitting with 7 cards in hand, has a pretty healthy hand and hasn't really alluded at all whether or not he's got a lot of counter, no counter at all. He's got a fair amount of counter in this hand as we get a little peek in there. No, he doesn't. Zoro really doesn't need bodies with the restand event. But Bonnie is still sitting at 3 life, so that's the scary thing in my opinion. If Bonnie was like at 2 life, maybe, but... So Zoro going to be attaching 3. You'd imagine that he'll swing his first 8 over at the Cavendish, right, to be able to activate main on that leader effect. And so now the Dawn for the Bonnie leader effect is just going to rest the highest valued character, which is the Tashigi, on the field. And so is going to try to keep this Cavendish alive. So is thinking about going 2K, 1K, right, to get out of the swing. Has a couple Tashigis in hand and that Stun Bonnie. Not opting to utilize the Stun Bonnie, which is kind of sad if he doesn't, because I really wanted to see the Stun Bonnie come into this game. Maybe now something the Zoro has to think about. So probably going to be grabbing the 3-cost event. Could swing at the Cavendish yet again if he wanted to, because of the 3-cost restand event would still allow him to swing at characters with a cost of 8 or less. So is going to go ahead and use that. Luffy will be king of the pirates to restand the leader. And we'll see if he attaches this other Dawn. He might try to like redistribute the Dawn in a sense, but no, it's just going to go ahead with another 8K swing at the Cavendish. Going to prompt another 2K, 1K. But you got to know that these other swings may be going at life. You do have the counter to be able to get out of it with the Tashigi and maybe Koshiro, right? But is just going to let it go. Interesting. Interesting letting that Zoro or that Cavendish go when you can get out of it. And so now you got to think about if you want to swing the Trafalgar Law. You're probably not in danger of dying on this turn. And so swinging at the Bonnie is going to get that knockout right there. And the 2 Dawn is going to utilize the activate main restand. We'll see if he attaches any more extra Dawn. Is going to go ahead with 1 more, maybe try to feign a dead man's game in hand. And the 9K swing prompts the life. Another 1K in the hand. Passes off the turn to Bonnie. Hody Jones lives. No other Hody Jones in hand, but a 10-drop Dofi hits the hand. 10-drop Dofi's not going to be good on this turn because you're only at 9 Dawn, but could be a threat in the coming turn if you survive into the next turn, be able to freeze all 3 of these bodies on Zoro's side of the field. So I gotta wonder, do you play the Kid Killer at all on this turn to be able to search, maybe find like at worst a 2K, right? Maybe like a 5-cost Carrot, right? Could be very, or no, it can't grab Carrot. Maybe a Stun Bonnie, right? Another Stun Bonnie could be very nice to be able to play out onto the field to be able to nullify like Tashigi or Trafalgar Law or something like that. Leave 1 up for leader effect, because that would only be 7 Dawn in total. Definitely a really interesting game. And especially why in OP12 PRBO2 format out here in the West, Bonnie has still been a relatively popular pick, right? Having a very interesting matchup to Zoro. Yo, what up, Joy Boys? Trafalgar. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down. And so is going to attach one Dawn swing 9-2 lead. 9 to lead is definitely going to command a couple cards. I think it's the leader. More than likely going to put him down to 2 life. Can't get out of that. But if he's swinging at Trafalgar Law or the Tashigi, would be able to get out of it. Yo, what up, Strongest Wizard? Yeah, he could just pump up a lot of blockers, right? But I don't know. He can't get out of this swing if it's to lead. But if he does counter out with this, right, on, let's say, Tashigi, the next swing at a character, that character is going down. You would still be at 3 life, though, so I don't know if you would be worried too much. So is going to go Zero Cross event and the Kuina. Because this side of justice will prevail, or whatever that card says. The Zero Cost event, plus 3,000 power if you pitch another card from hand. I just know that the Zero Cost event name is very, very long, chat. What's the best play here for the Bonnie? Because especially with one card in hand, he's got to be thinking about potentially clearing a character. Do you just swing 6 at the... or do you swing 8 at Trafalgar Law? No, just swing 5 at lead. 5 at lead is going to command a life, put the Zoro down to 2. It's going to be a Cavendish. It's cool to reutilize Dawn, but maybe doesn't want to do that. And is thinking about playing the Bonnie down. Bonnie would actually only... You wouldn't have enough rested Dawn, right? Or no, you wouldn't have enough rested... Wait a minute. What's the cost number on the Bonnie? Yeah, you wouldn't have 8 rested cards. You would only have 7, right? So you have to play something first before the Bonnie, unless he's thinking about playing the other Cavendish in his hand. He might be thinking about playing the other Cavendish if he's going to play a 5 cost. So he is going to go 5 for that Cavendish to restand 2. He does have 5 Dawn left, and it looks like he's going in with the Bonnie blocker, going to be able to draw 2 because he has 8 or more rested cards, right? Going to draw 2, trash 1, and then set up one of his Dawn as active for his leader effect. So looking at keeping the 10-drop Doflamingo potentially. I think he just drew into 2-2K, so he is not dying anytime soon, right? In this coming turn, is going to put out multiple bodies, right, with the Cavendish and Bonnie to be able to get him in the next turn, but ends up pitching the 1-cost Bonnie. So does have 1 up for leader effect. If it doesn't get Dead Man's gamed, he will be able to rest one of these bodies on the field. And that draw is a 10-drop Shanks from OP13. So going to be a brick in the hand. Would be able to restand all of his Dawn if he played it, though, onto the field. Not a card that we see a lot of times in Zoro. It's kind of on and off, I feel like, a lot of times. But the 10 drop Shanks would allow him to reutilize all 10 of the Dawn, but he has to use that in attachments because he can't play any cards after that. About 9 minutes left in this game. I have a good feeling that we've got enough time to finish out this game, unless we have a 6-minute turn. He could throw down the 10 cost Shanks. Throwing down the 10 cost Shanks would mean that he has all the Dawn in the world to attach to his characters and the leader. When a player chat leaves 3 Dawn like this, do you automatically think that he has the 3 cost restand event in hand? I think the Zoro's in trouble. Yeah, Zoro would disable it. He can't play, if he plays down the Shanks, he can't play any other card from hand. Like, he can't play the restand event or anything like that. He can't play events, can't play stages, can't play characters, can't play anything. He just has to attach the Dawn. And that's pretty much it. I feel like every time I'm playing against a Zoro and they're like trying to figure out their hand, trying to figure out how to play their Dawn, and they're placing things out, right? And they're counting, right? Because I do it too. I won't lie. If they put out 3 Dawn like this, I'm like, okay, you've got the 3 cost event in hand. I already know it. Like 9 times out of 10. There's no way he attaches 7 Dawn to lead and swings, right? That would be 7 Dawn. That would be 12. Can he get out of 12? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. He can only get, the Bonnie can only get up to 12 right now. Bud is swinging at the Hody Jones. And so here's the thing about Bonnie. Do you go and rest the Trafalgar Law blocker or the higher up Tashigi and opts for the Trafalgar Law? I think that's the right play, right? And so is going to let the Hody Jones go. Zoro can still use the leader effect to be able to restand and swing. Doesn't have a way to rest this Bonnie blocker, so this Bonnie is going to be able to give 3 swings at this Zoro. So starts out with the Tashigi. Swing 7? Or do you attach 1 Dawn? Or is he going to leave 1 Dawn open at the end of turn 2 faint that he's got plenty of Dawn? So is going to attach 1 Dawn onto the Tashigi to swing 8,000 power at lead. Would just be 2 2Ks to get out of this. With the Zoro swinging, I feel like you counter out of this, right? Because Zoro can restand off of the effect and then restand 1 more time because of the activate main, because he did battle that Hody Jones previously in the turn. So I think you just pitch your 2 2Ks now, and then you can just freely take your life, right? Maybe find a Hody Jones off life. So is just going to 2K out of it to go to 9,000 power with Tashigi and Scratchman Apu. And Bonnie looks like to be in the driver's seat heading into a top 8 placement, but does still have to finish out the game with the numbers on the math. And so this first swing after the activate main is going to take that life. And with the 3, we'll see if he restands with the Luffy will be king the pirates to swing another 12 at Bonnie. Yo, what's up, Habib? Yeah, I guess you could buff the 3 cost event, but ends up just passing off the turn, drawing the card for turn. Now finally at 10 done. And now the one thing that Bonnie does have to think about is the numbers, right? Bonnie, if they want to go ahead and hit for game right now, they would have to have the perfect math, right? Because you need every single swing to connect. Now, there is a thought to use 10-drop Doflamingo, right? To be able to swing, or to be able to freeze everything and essentially buy you another turn, right? Swing 5 at lead, maybe try to bait a card in hand, drop the 10-drop Doflamingo. But you got to decide, it is definitely a more passive turn. He could have chose not to swing Davio, but I don't know if he wanted to do that. He could have restood with the event. But I think because he wasn't going for game, he's just going to save the event. Oh, yeah, the Zoro leaders from the playmat. Got 3 minutes left in this game. And so now with the 5K swing, definitely probably going to be playing this Doflamingo down at this point. And so now the Zoro thinking about just pitching the Cavendish, not necessarily giving up a ton of information about the amount of counter in hand. Case of a pivot. So I feel like right now you just lay down Doflamingo and you don't. Do you swing with any of these bodies? And so here goes Doflamingo, freezing all 3 of the characters, now actually swinging the Cavendish. Yeah, you definitely swing the Cavendish, right? Because 1, you get your leader effect potentially, but also 2, you can play the Koshiro down. You have 2 blockers. Even if he does have the 3-cost restand event, he is cooked at this point, right? Cannot get through, has to have multiple different resting effects to be able to get through these blockers, but the 3-cost event would only give him 1 swing in total. So it looks like Bonnie going to be walking away into a top 8 finish. I think it's highest finish in the OP13 format that we've seen in these Japan Championships. I don't know if he should have played the Shanks the previous round, because I don't know how Shanks would change, like, the game. I mean, it would establish the big Bonnie on field, but the way that the Bonnie ended up playing that turn, even if you had the Shanks on field, I don't think you could get game anyways right now. Because he played the 10-drop Dofi. It might honestly have put you in a better position, especially if you did not end up using the 3-cost event, right? Because he didn't play any cards after. He didn't play any 3-cost events or anything on the previous turn. So it might have just been best to play the Shanks. But I think he was trying to go for game, because Bonnie a lot of times is bricked up. So maybe he just was like, there's got to be enough non-counter to be able to go for game, right? So probably fainting another 3-cost event, I think, at this point right now. After the 3-cost restand event to get around the Doflamingo freeze, is going to be able to use the activate main since he battled the Cavendish and swing again. Going to be another 8K swing at lead. So is going to go down to 0 now life, and we've hit overtime actually, but I think after this turn, the game is over. We will see a completion of this game in the top 16 round of the Japan Championships. The Bonnie only restands a Dawn on the on play. Yeah, I think the Zoro's cooked. Bonnie's got this one for sure. And so is going to rest 2 Dawn for a little Koshiro himself, leaving up 2 Dawn active and passing off the turn. And top deck Cody Jones would be such salt to the wound right now. But no, we are not that lucky. But the Scratch Minapoo is going to be able on the on-play to rest a 2 cost or less, and now free swinging coming in. This is why Scratch Minapoo, a huge card in both Zoro and Bonnie decks heading into this upcoming format. And 7 Dawn attached to the Doflamingo. The big swing going in, and Bonnie moving away onto the top 8 round. That was cool, chat. AC? I'll call you AC. I ended up going 4-5 with Zoro Sanji in the championships. It was good. Like, I mean, it's not good. 4-5 is not a good record. But the deck flowed exactly how I wanted it to. I had no problems really with the deck. It was just sometimes my opponents saw the nuts. Sometimes my final 2 rounds were Bonnie, which is basically an auto loss. So that stunk. But I really enjoyed LA. It was good. It was good. There should be, they did say on the official Twitter that there will be OP14 reveals. Chad, thank you so much to everybody that is here right now watching the Japan Championships with us. If you're enjoying the stream and you're enjoying the content, please make sure to subscribe, especially on YouTube. We are like 150 subscribers away on YouTube from 20,000. I know how to count. 20,000 subscribers, chat. Very, very crazy. Thank you for all the support. And if you're on Twitch, make sure to follow as well. We're coming up on 3,000 followers on Twitch, especially Akagami and Supreme Greek. Thank you so much for following over on Twitch. Yeah, Bonnie is against Zoro Sanji. Bonnie is making you a vanilla leader. Carlos, drive safe. Appreciate you. Chad, here's the pack art for OP14. Ah, look, the Dracula Mihawk, chat. We already know about this. We have already gotten the official reveal on this guy. To stick to the rule to play 1 unit per, use the effect. Yeah, I would say like, especially in the beginning of the game, I would say Glow Moss King. Sometimes later you want to utilize multiple per turn, right? Like you sometimes want to play a 5-cost Tashigi and a 2-cost Koshiro blocker. But definitely in the beginning of the game, yeah, it's a 1 unit per turn deck, mostly. I mean, your leader always kind of wants a battle with a character, right? It's not like I can't give you the clear-cut answer that you're looking for, but like you want to battle the characters because you want to remove things on board. You want to utilize your leader effect. Yeah, ST29 is Egghead, and then ST30 is Red-Green. ST29 yellow Egghead Luffy, and then ST30 Ace and Luffy. Chat, this is a top 3. Chat, is this the best regular art leader in the One Piece trading card game? Chat, let's have a conversation. Let's have an intervention. Is that the best regular art leader in the One Piece trading card game? Or best regular art? Did I say alternate art? I meant regular art. I'm willing to say that might be the best in my opinion. I love this leader. This leader is so sick, and I haven't even watched One Piece. I don't even know One Piece. What do you think is the best one, JK? OP13 Sabo is really, really good. I will agree with that. I like this leader a lot. Kyros looks good. Oh, the Kyros regular one does look good. That is definitely a leader that I don't think about very often because he's not very good. And he's never been good. But I do agree. That is kind of cool. That is a really good leader art. Boa is really pretty in my opinion. We know all three of these. Yamato's really good. I like the base Yamato. I think that's a really pretty card, Amon. Ooh, Roger's really good too. Ooh, actually, yeah, Roger's. Dang, there's a lot of good base ones. Yo, what up, KOEG? How are you, friend? Also, Lord, thank you so much for following over on Twitch. Ooh, Red Green Odin art's good. Dang, wait, is EBO1 the best base rarity leader arts? Rosinante is pretty cool. I like Rosinante a lot. I know I'm going to be really tired for the online regional too because it's an East Coast regional. I got to refresh myself on King. The Sanji one is cool with the peel off. I like Sanji. OP12 Sanji isn't bad. OP12 Sanji's not terrible. We knew about this Dracula Mihawk event. Ooh, yeah, Pluffy's cool. Pluffy's cool. The Boa leader is a cool deck. I've watched a couple games with it. Perona's underrated. I'm trying to remember Perona's. Because I used to play Perona, but I've only used the alternate art leader. Chat! Should I make a video tier listing the arts of the base rarity leaders? Well, here's the thing, Purple Alligator. Usually what they'll do is they'll release a lot of what we know in like the beginning rounds. And then like later in the tournament, they'll release brand new things. So I fully expect this segment to be the other the Doflamingo event card. Oh, the promo Uta? The promo Uta is pretty good. Yeah. Oh, is the regular Perona? Is she? Yeah, she is, isn't she? All right, that's a pretty good one. The East Coast Regional, Tom Bain, it's an online regional. It's the booster box. They're organizing an online regional tomorrow. Because they're East Coast based, it starts at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 7 a.m. Odin's definitely a contender. Yeah, Boa looks fun. Boa looks fun, I'll say. I don't know what I'll run in OP14. Probably going to be Doflamingo. Yeah, we knew about this guy too. It's basically Gear 2 chat. It's basically Gear 2 for Don Quixote is what this is. Except I think you just need to be a Don Quixote Pirates type leader, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Pokemaster. Thanks for following over on Twitch. Ooh, yeah, the base art for Green Yellow Law, too. That's a pretty good one. I like the alternate art of Green Yellow Law. I know that's kind of like a hot opinion. Oh, Chad, this is a brand new card. This is a brand new card. I don't know what it says. Somebody translate this for me. Stat. Who knows Japanese? It's a one-cost BOA event card. Google Translate. So this event says something along the lines, it's a counter event. If your life is 2 or less, you can choose. Man, Google Translate sucks. It's something with your opponent's active something cannot attack during this turn. It's basically nullifying an opponent's attack or the ability to attack. And I think the trigger is play a 6,000 or less power character from your hand with a trigger, I think. Is it leader locked? I don't. Looking at it, I don't think it's leader locked. I think it's just 2 or less life locked. I'm not using AI. Yeah, Google Translate at least was telling me that I cannot attack you can tell an active character that they cannot attack in the turn. Sounds good in Vegapunk. I think the card's pretty solid. Card looks pretty okay. When it pulls up on Discord, chat, because it should pull up on Discord soon. Ooh, chat, look at that. It's the top 8. We've got 4 emus. Oh, no, that's ace. 4 ace. I'm sorry, I know how to read. 4 ace, 1 green Zoro, 1 emu, obviously 1 Bonnie, and then the blue-purple Luffy. So it looks like, chat, 4 of the 7 aces advanced in this tournament. Ace has a really good shot of winning this tournament. Yeah, it didn't look leader locked. I think it's though that you have to play here. I'll show you guys what exactly what I'm reading. I'll show you guys exactly what I'm reading. This right here. So if you have 2 or less life, your opponent's active card, I don't know what this means. Up to 1 Machura. I don't know what that means, but it's something along the lines of like one of your opponent's active characters cannot attack during the turn. And then the trigger, I think, is like you have to play a 6,000 power or less trigger card from your hand. All right, Chad, moving into the next round, we've got Ace. It's the most populous deck in the top 8 today, with 4 of them left standing. One of the top leaders in the One Piece trading card game, so no surprises here. Going up against blue-purple Luffy. So blue-purple Luffy still in the format, barely hanging on, right as the heralded BDIF for a couple sets. Still holding on because of the Gold D Roger 8-cost promo and an OP13, a nice Otama draw 1-drop in this deck. So going to be interesting to see how these two match up, chat, in this one. So looking at the Ace's hand, both the 3 life leaders, the Ace starting out with a couple 1-drops in the 1-drop Otama and the 1-drop Ezo Searcher. You got 2 of the 8-cost I Am Whitebeard events, right, to be able to cheat out your Whitebeards if you find them, and a nice 2K in that Uta. GP Luffy is tough in 13. It is not looking good. The UP Luffy looking like a pretty decent hand as well, right? Has that Gear 2 and Bond Clay for early ramping. You've got a 8-cost Roger to be able to play like on your 8 Dawn turn to make you an 8,000 power leader. And you got a little bit of counter with the Sanji and Charlotte Pudding. Charlotte Pudding probably going to have a bit of a factor in this game, right? Especially because both decks can get very high hand sizes. The timing of putting by both players is probably going to be a factor within this game. Thank you so much for joining me in this one, chat, for the top 8 round. Moving on into it. Yeah, GP hurts. GP hurts, chat, unfortunately. The ace going first is going to decide whether they want to play the Otama or Izo. Goes with that Izo, right? I like playing that first before the Otama. Is going to look for a Whitebeard Pirates type of card. Does find a 4-drop Marco. Looking like he's going for the alternate art there of the PRBO2 Marco. Just going to be a nice card to play down and force the Luffy to respond to it, even though Luffy does have many responses to that card. Luffy now going second, doesn't have a play on the first turn, so just passes off the turn, and Ace going to 3. Ace now drawing another Otama, or I'm sorry, a 10-drop Whitebeard. Looks like the OP08 alternate art of the Whitebeard. Is thinking about playing an Otama to get a little bit of draw, right? Can't really play anything else, but decides to swing 9 at life. With that attached on, if Luffy goes ahead and hits life, he's going to be able to draw 1 card after claiming his life, which is going to be very, very nice. We see Luffy now into this 4 Dawn turn. Does have the Bond Clay in hand, so could go ahead after this 6K swing, play down Bond Clay, leave 1 up, ramping to 5. And so is going to go ahead and utilize the Izo's effect. That Izo effect on opponent's attack is going to be able to trash itself to draw 1 card and put 1 card to the bottom of the deck. So it looks like drawing that Yamato there, that's going to be nice in a future turn, is going to go ahead, put a Whitebeard, I am Whitebeard event to the bottom. Really just thinking about needing 1 in this game. So uses the 2K Otama to counter out of that 6K swing from lead. And the 4 is going to be a Bond Clay to ramp 1 Dawn as active and pass off the turn. Yeah, Bond Clay's really good in this matchup. Especially with Bond Clay being able to copy power, right? If those 10-cost Whitebeards come down onto the field, the Nami's going to be able to swing 10,000 plus power at the ace, which is one of the reasons why, in my opinion, a lot of aces are kind of running Atmos, right, to be able to combat in this matchup, and also a little bit of the mirror match. Jozu also a very, very good card. But because on 5, we're going to play the Yamato, especially because we're at 3 or less life, we're going to be able to draw 2 cards and attach 1 Rested Dawn on to leader to be able to build up the hand size a little bit, find some pieces. I think drew into double 10-drop Whitebeard blocker on that draw. So is going to go ahead, attach the 1 and swing 7, just a 2K Sanji to get out of that swing. We move on to Luffy's next turn. You're probably going to see the other Bond Clay come down onto the field now that we're at 7 Dawn. The Bond Clay would be able to put you up to 8 Dawn to utilize your leader effect in the coming turn. You still have 4 Dawn to work with to be able to use on Bond Clay, on leader, maybe Charlotte Pudding or something like that. I think it might be a little bit too early for Charlotte Pudding, but you could think about that card, right? Especially with that Yamato on the field. the Bon Clay is going to be able to copy the Yamato and swing 6,000 face to the ace. I don't know if he gets puddinged on this turn. It kind of feels a little early. Feels like you almost want to pudding like right before they're going to play the new gate. But is going to go ahead, attach to, swing 8,000 power at lead right here. Is trying to get that first life off of the ace. Is maybe trying to get them to take a life for potentially pudding, right? I think maybe because you committed the 2 Don, it's a little bit more awkward to do that. I think Bon Clay is going to be the choice, but with the leader effect on ace to be able to minus 2,000 power for the battle, is going to use that in a 2K to get out of the attack. The Bon Clay ramping to 8, leaving 2 Don as active, and we move into the ace's next turn. Ace now sitting at 7 Don in the turn. Did find another 2K on the Otama. Actually, not a lot of counter in hand for this ace, I will say. It might be worth, since he's played he's played the Yamato, he's played an Otama, right, to fix the hand. Or no, he hasn't played Otama. He just played the Izo. He's fixed his hand a little bit, especially after this Otama right here being a draw 2, trash 1. Did find a 1-cost Vista, right, and another Otama. So we'll see what he decides to do on the rest of this draw. Probably going to be playing the Marco. Maybe a Marco and a 7-7 swing. Or maybe just go 6-8 at lead. And so is going to go 6,000 power with this Yamato right here. Is going to command a 1K Nami. So 6 Don left in the turn. Goes ahead, attaches 1-2 lead, swing 7. So the 7 is going to, with the 1 Don attached, activate his leader effect later in the UP Luffy's turn. And a gear 2 is going to be used to be able to get out of the attack. Didn't want to get rid of the Nami or the pudding. I think a great call. And the Marco coming down onto the field. And another Vista. 2 little blockers coming down on the field, and Luffy going into his leader effect, right? Because he's sitting at 8 Dawn before his Dawn phase. We see a Bagua in there. We see another 8-drop Luffy and Otama. No Sanji and targets for the Sanji, but is going to grab the Nami, probably draw something like the Otama for turn, right, to get a little bit of counter in hand. And maybe just go ahead. Maybe you play the pudding now at this point. Now, because you're going into your 10 Dawn turn, maybe you do something like play pudding and the 5-drop Nami to be able to get a blocker on field, be able to pudding them, and these Bon Clays can go ahead and start swinging 6,000 power. But the promo Roger is going to be coming in instead, going to be boosting up the Luffy leader plus 2,000 until their next turn. So is going to be an 8K leader. So with 2 Dawn left, probably going to be leaving 1 up for a Gum Gum Giant, thinking about attaching 1 to his leader to swing 9,000 power. I think you wait for the Bon Clays. You don't swing the Bon Clays yet until they start playing the big bodies down, right? Especially those 10 costs. So is going to go ahead and finally claim the first life on the ace because of Ace's leader effect. He took damage, going to draw a card, does find a 2K, 1K on that combination of 2, and now moves into his 9 Dawn turn. Is going to be able on the draw. Looks like, I think, found another new gate, but it looks like an OP08 new gate. So he's got back-to-back. No, those are the blocker new gates, actually, the alternate arts. That's my mistake. He's got back-to-back blocker new gates. So Maybe thinking about with the 8, play down a 10 cost new gate. With the I Am Whitebeard event, you would activate the Bond Clays, right, to be able to swing 12,000 power if you did. He did. With Ace's leader effect, if you take damage or one of your 6,000 or more characters are KO'd, you get to draw 1 card. So he drew 1 card for that effect because he took a life, and then he drew for turn. And so is going to go and attach 2 onto the Yamato. Going to be an 8K swing. Now, with the Yamato swinging over at the Luffy, not going to be playing a 10-drop new gate onto this turn. Maybe thinking about using 5 Dawn to play Yamato and get a little bit more card draw before swinging with the leader. And so there goes Yamato with 5, is going to draw 2 cards and give a rested Dawn to Ace. Going to be able to swing 9,000 power if you attach the other to Dawn. Ace a lot of times playing something like Radical Beam, right? So you'll see Aces a lot of times in games leave 1 Dawn open. Is going to go ahead now, swing 8,000 power at lead, only attaching 1 of the 2 active Dawn in his field. So the 8K swing is just going to command a 1K or life. We'll see what he decides to put out. So is thinking about just giving up the Yamato. Would be a little bit of over counter, but decides that it's worth it. And replacing the 1 is actually just going to go with a Garp Search to play over, tap out all of his Dawn. For 1, can look at the top 4 cards and find a cost 3 or higher. So you see Goldie Roger there. If he can try to manipulate the game to get one of the 2 players down to 0, that Goldie Roger is going to be threatening, except for maybe if a pudding comes down. So passing off the turn to the Luffy, going to be looking at the top 5. We saw most of this top 5 is playing a Douglas Bullet. We've seen a lot of Japanese and Asian players talk about how UP Luffy can play Douglas Bullet in their decks, and we're seeing this UP play it right now in here. So see if you got some starter decks, right, of the Purple Shanks, the true BDIF. And see if you got any Douglas Bullets in there. Maybe something you want to try to prep for OP13 format. Can't grab it off the leader effect. Actually can't grab anything off of this. None of these cards in the hand. Thunder Bagua, Otama, the Douglas Bullet, the Roger, none of them are Straw Hat Crew type cards, but still gets to manipulate that top 5 and draw 1 on the turn. Is going to draw that 8 cost Roger. So maybe thinking about playing another 8 cost Roger on this turn to be able to be an 8,000 power leader. Now the Goldie Roger swinging 10,000 power. Looks like he was just swinging it at lead. Did not want to swing at the Yamato or anything like that. I know the Douglas Bullet is cooking. So is going to go ahead, block with the Vista, right? Not reveal too much, not draw too many cards in case of a Charlotte Pudding. And the promo Roger coming down, going to be another plus 2,000 power until the opponent's next turn. 8K leader. See if he attaches the 1 Dawn onto lead and swings 9 anywhere. The Bond Clay still staying active. Just salivating, waiting for an Edward Newgate to come down. So attaches 1, swings 9,000, maybe 9,000 power. Is actually going to swing 8,000 power. Not going to attach any Dawn just in case he maybe finds another Gear 2, Giant, etc. And the Ace Leader effect, pitching a card from hand to minus 2,000 power. The Luffy and a 2K is going to be able to get out of that swing. Put him up to 8,000 power with the Luffy at 6. Yo, what up, Messi? So now finally on a 10 Dawn turn, finally has a Jozu in hand, but maybe a little bit too late on the Jozu. Both players still at 2 life. Bit of a grindy game, I will say. And Ace building up a little bit of counter, right, with 3 Uta 2Ks in hand and a Jozu as another little 1K. If he decides to play down that Newgate, could be tough to be able to swing with all of these bodies. I think he's leaning on a Jozu angle. Yo, Masta. How's it going? Hope Egypt's good. Ace now going to be swinging 8,000 at leader. Going to match the power of the Luffy. Is going to go ahead, take the life. Another promo, Roger. He could go up to 8 now again if he wanted to in the next turn. No, he would never just Whitebeard without the event. I don't think you ever do Whitebeard without the event if you have the event in hand. Yeah, I feel like this is a Jozu angle that he's going towards. Yamato now swinging 8,000 power, has 6 Dawn left. Could be a Jozu. Can't replay the Garp if he picks it up, but could add a 1K in hand. Now that he's attached the 2 Dawn to Yamato. Yeah, that's the scary thing about this matchup. Like, if you play that 10-drop Blackbeard, sure, you have a 12,000 power blocker on field, but those Bond Clays that are just sitting there, they will become 12,000. So do you want that to happen? And so ends up using the Jozu, removing them off the field, because at this point in the game, UP Luffy probably not playing the Bond Clays back down onto the field. And so 1 card deeper, I think we see a 9-cost Sanji. We could see 9-cost Sanji into 8-cost Douglas Bullet, chat. That would be kind of crazy. Do you think we see it? You can't grab anything else on this top 5 except for Sanji. So Sanji coming in. We'll see if he plays Sanji into Douglas Bullet. Oh, you saved the Whitebeard without the event for Emu? I guess that kind of makes sense, Cyan. I guess that makes sense. I don't think he needed to Giant. I think he's chilling. So a little bit of sticky cards, but he already knows the top 5 is going to get the Otama off the draw after getting the Sanji, and we'll see what he does on this turn. There is a thought that maybe you just go ahead and play the Roger, right? Become another 8,000 power leader instead of doing Sanji shenanigans. But now is going in with the Rogers 10,000 power. Is going to go ahead with leader effect, give 2K, 1K to get out of the swing. Maybe is a little bit afraid of like an all-in right here on the Luffy. I think he's got a kind of shot to be able to get Luffy to put him to 0 for Goldie Roger. But if he plays the 8-cost Roger promo, it's really hard to do Roger stuff, right? So Ace taking the next Roger swing is going to draw one card. Drew Yamato and Newgate in the combination. So goes with the Roger. Now becomes an 8K. You're not afraid of Roger right now, right? Looks like he's swinging 8 now at Yamato. So because he already drew from taking life, not going to draw on leader effects for this Yamato KO. But is going to let that one go. And pass off the turn with 2 Dawn active. We know he's got Thunder Bagua in his hand, but if he uses Gum Gum Giant to draw cards into the Thunder Bagua, it's not going to help him. Yeah, thank goodness, Messi, that it's only on play. Thank goodness that the Roger promo is only on play. Yeah, I think Ace has played this very patiently. I think he's played this pretty well. The Atmos, if he plays the Atmos down, he can remove the Bon Clay. But does the Bon Clay do really anything for you at this point? Like you have three Rogers on the field. So ends up drawing with Yamato 2 fresh cards. He got another Atmos. He's getting a lot of counter. Oh, chat, we got the official translation of the yellow event. We'll take a look at it after this game. He's got 5 active Dawn left to work with. He's got to attach 2 to be able to swing with these Yamatos. He's got to attach 1 to swing with the Jozu. I don't know if, I mean, you can't live with all these Rogers swinging at life, right? So attaches 1, swings 8 at lead. Is going to get a 1K Bon Clay. It's never seeing the light of day again. Attaches 1 on Jozu, swings another 8. Just trying to bait out these events. He's able to get out of 2 more swings after that Otama right there. Attaches 2, swings with the Yamato. Only has 1 Dawn left, so this is his last swing of the turn. And Gum Gum Giant coming in, getting rid of the Sanji. No need for it, and drawing 2 cards, which I feel like is more than likely Thunder Bagua and the Douglas Bullet, playing down that Garp that he picked up last turn off the Jozu. Is going to be able to find a Jozu to be able to get another 2K counter in the hand. And passes off the turn. Now UP Luffy going into the leader effect. We see Zoro Juro in there. Red Rock, a second Douglas Bullet, chat. A second Douglas Bullet is in this deck. This is an interesting deck. One Piece is not that hard to get into, in my opinion. There's a lot of starter decks out there that you can just join. They just had a reprint set, like a best of collection reprint set. So a lot of the SRs right now and a lot of like good cards are really cheap. Because they just got reprinted. And so starting out with 4 is going to go ahead, play that SP Pudding. Is going to shuffle up the hand of the Ace. Ace had been building up that hand, right, with Yamato draws, Garp draws, right? Still has that Marco on field to be able to get even more draws, but these 5 cards going to be a little scary if they don't have counter. And let's see it. Red Rock with the other 6, going to bottom deck that Marco. No draw potential. As we go in with these Rogers, we see 2 new gates and 4K counter in the hand. And so now this Bond Clay, starting out with a 7,000 power swing at lead, is going to command a 2K. Is going to go ahead and utilize that. Oh, also the Learn Together decks. Yeah, there's a new box called the Learn Together set. Very, very good. The Leader Swing counters out 1. The first Roger Swing takes the life. Draws 1 off of leader effect after taking damage. The second Roger Swing. I don't think he has enough counter to get out of it. UP Luffy is going to claim the game. We said Pudding was going to be a big card within the matchup, and it ended up being the push for the game win. UP Luffy moving into the top 4. He's not dead yet in OP13, taking down one of the best decks within the format, chat. Oh, but also, yes, if you want to learn how to play the One Piece trading card game and you want to get into the game, I highly recommend, as Chad is saying as well, to download the One Piece TCG Simulator. It's a fan-made, completely free online simulator, sandbox. You don't have to pay a single dime, and you can practice with every card, any deck, right? For free. There's even ranked ladder that they have implemented in the client. So like you can play like very competitive as well if you want to do that. And it can really help you save money because you can test cards out first before you buy them, which is really nice. No, EBO3 is legal next weekend. Yeah, that Red Rock was good. That Red Rock was good. I highly recommend for anybody that is wanting to learn how to play the One Piece trading card game, if you're in the YouTube chat, follow the Joy Boys. I think they make really good stuff, especially for beginners in the One Piece trading card game. Oh, we already know about this. Ooh, chat, it's a Jimbe leader. Now let's see what it says, chat. Let's see what it says. Were the leaks true? Were the leaks true, chat? Let's see. Jimbe. All right, Google Translate. What you got for me? The leak said he was a mono blue leader, right, chat? The leak said he was a mono blue leader. Chat, somebody figure out this translation for me. What the heck is this? What is this? This is terrible. Whoa, there's the croc, chat. Look at him. Sorry, chat, gotta fix my mic. Chat, read it for me. I need a new table. I need a new table. That croc is looking hot, chat. Yeah, the art looks pretty good on them. The base arts look really good this set. Ooh, Proxy, thank you so much for posting that in there. So the Jimbe says you may discard 1 card from your hand, give up to 2 Rested Dawn to one of your characters or leader that has the Fishman or Fishman crew traits. So that is what the leak said. Right? And so this, chat, continuous effect, as what Proxy is saying. Your opponent's characters cannot be removed from the field by effects, and then activate main once per turn. You may KO one of your own characters with the Baroque Works trait. If you do, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of... Or wait, what? No, it's not KO one of your opponent's characters. It's minus the cost of one of your opponent's characters. Wait. Wait, this doesn't say KO, right? The second part? The second part is just minusing the cost of an opponent's character by 10. Whoa, chat, what is this? Chat, pronto, somebody translate this. Holy moly, chat, look at this new card. I'm like frantically trying to Google Translate. Because I am sadly not fluent in Japanese. Somebody in chat will say. So it looks like on your turn, you can rest 3 cards. Place up to 1 character with the trait Fishman from your hand that costs 3 or less. Place it where? You're placing a character with cost of 3 or less somewhere. That is the cost. Oh, it's from your... Is it play up to 1? No, it's not play up to 1. Probably put a character with cost of 3 or less with Fishman to your hand. Return 1 character card with a power of 6,000 or less. I don't know what this is, chat. Oh my gosh, another one. It's Croc. Oh, the Jimbe event says you may rest 3 of your Dawn cards, play up to 1 character card with the cost of 3 or less Fishman from your hand. Return 1 of your characters with 6,000 power or less to the owner's hand. Counter, draw 1 card plus 3k. Draw 1 card plus 3k is awesome. Chat, what is it? I'm going to stop trying to Google Translate. Chat, just tell me what this says. No, Reborn. Proxy in Twitch chat said draw 1 card as well. Play a 3 cost or less, then bounce a 6k. I wonder how you would do that. What does this say, chat? Something with 2 Dawn? It's like resting 2 additional Dawn. Something about a... Okay, chat. Proxy's got us. I'm trusting you, Proxy. You may rest 2 of your Dawn cards. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. The character's effects are negated during this turn. A counter event as well. If you have 10 or more cards in your trash, give up to 1 of your leaders or characters plus 4,000 power. This card seems pretty good. Thanks, Proxy. I appreciate it. Yeah, so it's basically like a 4-cost black hole for 2. God, these look so good. Chat, let me get my ugly mug out of the way so you guys can fully appreciate the crocodile. Look how good that is, chat. Holy smokes. He was daddy, as some people say. I mean, some people as in me. Am I right? If you don't agree, you're lying. I don't trust you. Negation, kill Emu. Yeah, wait, actually, could Croc have a good matchup into Emu, potentially? Yeah, when the translations come in, yeah, they still haven't showed Trafalgar Law. They still haven't showed Trafalgar Law, chat. Whoops. They forgot. Wait, let me show you real quick Okay, Chad, this is the yellow event that we got, right? Counter event, 1 cost counter event, 7 Warlords of the Sea, Kuja Pirates. If you're at 2 or less life, up to one of your opponent's active characters cannot attack during the turn. So it's any active character. And then the trigger is play 1 character with trigger and 6,000 power or less from your hand. That seems like a pretty good event. That event actually seems really good. Trust me, Chad, you didn't miss anything. Daddy Dofi and Mama Croc. That's so funny. Do we get an alleged Frankie or Brooke leader? I think that's OP13. I think it was OP15, Junker Queen, that they said that there would be a new Straw Hat Crew leader. All right, chat, the top 4. There's 2 ace left. Half of the ace lost in the top 8 round. And the other 2 decks are Bonnie and Blue Purple Luffy. The Bonnie throwing hands in this event has made it into the top 4. Emu completely out. All the people that posted their Emu guides, chat, everybody read them and immediately countered them for this tournament. Oh, yeah, wait, actually, that 1 cost event could be good in Emu, right? Chad, that event could be good in Emu because Emu can use 1 cost events. The extra resting is not a cost on the card. Oh, it's Green Bonnie. It's Green Bonnie. I should have said that. Green Bonnie, chat. Chat, we're seeing one of the 2 aces left in this tournament. In the top 4 round, we'll see what he matches up against. It could be a mirror match. It could be against the Bonnie. It could be against the same UP Luffy. It's gonna be the ace mirror match, chat. So we're guaranteed an ace in the finals of this tournament. We're also flying through this tournament, chat. It is only 1:50 p.m. or a.m. I'm gonna be getting some sleep tonight. Yo, what up, Sinbred? How are you? Chat, if you're enjoying the live stream, you're having fun hanging out, please make sure to follow either on Twitch or subscribe over on YouTube as we try to reach 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. Slam that like button. Smash that like button, chat. So more people find us. Appreciate all the support today. Yeah, UP's matching up into Bonnie. So the ace on the left is going to have the Atmos in hand that we saw from the last game. Also a 1-drop Otama draw and a 5-cost Yamato draw as well for the different draw cards. Does have an Edward Newgate blocker there to be able to even draw more cards, especially off of the I Am Whitebeard event. Atmos is going to be really good in this matchup to be able to control the board a little bit. Jozu, also a great card as the player on the right side has. And so one of the things that's going to be very interesting in this match, right? We see the Garp in hand, the Vista, as well as the Jozu. We see the I Am Whitebeard event with the OP02 9-cost Newgate in combination with the 8-cost event, right? If you play that 9-cost Newgate down, you can actually give plus 4,000 power to your leader through your opponent's next turn to be a 10,000 power leader. I think the second highest number that we've seen really consistent, or well, maybe not consistently, but the second highest number that we've seen in the One Piece trading card game, second to Black Purple Luffy's 11,000 power, I think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. But anyways, player on the left going first, playing out Otama, is going to draw 2, has to trash 1. We'll see what he trashes. He drew an Otama there, and it looks like a Jozu 2K, so a little bit difficult of a choice right now, and looks like he is going to pitch the Jozu on the draw. Now the player on the right side going does have that 1-cost Garp, could just go Garp and Vista, but after getting the Izo up the top deck, probably going to be an Izo and Garp. So on here, looking for a Whitebeard Pirates kind a card. Does find a 10-drop Newgate, so is going to get that nice blocker and put it into the hand. And with one more Dawn, is actually going to attach it to leader. You'll maybe wonder why a lot of aces do this on their 2 Dawn turn, slap the extra Dawn onto leader, because now that the player on the left side can swing, if the player on the right side decides to take a life right on a swing at life, that means that he'll be able to draw an extra card because of his leader effect, because he has that attached Dawn. And so now the other Otama drawing into it looks like Newgate and Red Rock. Pitched away in OP08, Newgate is going to attach at least 1 to lead. Maybe thinking about attaching 2 at this point. But is just going to pass off the turn. Says, you know what? I want you on your 4 Dawn turn to play like a Marco or an Atmos or something of the sort. So I'm going to bank that. Maybe you don't have any attached Dawn going in here. I don't want you to draw that extra card. So is just going to attach to swing at lead. Is going to go ahead, take that life, and draw a card. No trigger on either of those cards. A nice 2K, 1K, Jozu, and Garp. And so the player on the right side now going with the search on the Garp. Is going to go ahead on the Garp and grab the 10-cost Newgate, since it can grab a 3 or more, and then ends the turn with a Vista 1-drop blocker. It feels really bad to try to remove a 1-drop blocker, I feel like, in this matchup, right? So gonna maybe be a sticky body on the field potentially. Yamato gonna be drawing a card on the 5 Dawn curve for the ace, now attaching the 1 rested Dawn to leader, and swing is just going to go ahead and use leader effect to pitch the 9-drop ace. So not going to be that play that I talked about giving plus 4,000 power to your leader, but is going to be able to get out of that attack now going to 6 Dawn. Is just going to swing a bare 6,000 power to lead right here. So is going to try to command a 1K. Does have an Izo in hand that he's thinking about getting rid of. So is going to pitch that. So is just going to rest all 6 for the Jozu. The Jozu is going to be nice because you have all those early game searches. You're going to be able to remove a lot of these threats on the field, and so removes the Yamato. Now, what you're going to see here is that the player on the left side more than likely is going to play a Jozu himself on this turn to pick up the Otama and remove the player on the right side's Jozu. And so is going to go ahead and counter 1K off of the swing. Is going to go ahead with 1 Jozu to be able to remove the other Jozu, as I mentioned, as we're now in the Jozu war, and use the Garp to round out the turn, looking at that top 4 for a body. Does find a Marco, so maybe looking to play a Marco in the coming turn, especially when we get to like 10 Dawn and of these sorts, right? Going ahead and playing Jozu Marco could be a nice play to be able to utilize. So trying to set that up right now. And so passes off the turn. Plenty of cards in hand for the player on the left side. Player on the right side not having as many in hand, but the tides could turn in this one. Is going to go ahead with that 8-cost event on curve. Go ahead, play the 10-cost. And the 10-cost is going to be able to draw 2, trash 1, and attach 2 rested Dawn to a leader and character. The player on the left side actually is going to have a red rock to be able to throw down on this upcoming turn, which could be very strong, especially because this Jozu is not going to be able to be removed. You can get rid of the Edward Newgate after this swing right here and be able to freely swing over at life. So the ace, after attaching the 2 Dawn from the Whitebeard blocker, is going to go ahead swing 8k at lead, and the player on the left side thinking about what they want to counter out at this point. Got to be thinking about putting at some point, so maybe you want to pitch some of the cards in your hand. So is thinking about just a 2k, 1k, but what 2k and what 1k do you want to get rid of? Is thinking about Jozu and Yamato. I think you probably want to keep the Jozu, the 6-cost Jozu, in your hand, right, to be able to battle inside the Jozu War, but is actually thinking about using leader effect and a 1k to get out of the swing, just trying to minimize the amount of bricks in hand. Yo, what up, AJ? And so now going into the 9 Dawn turn for the player on the left side. Again, wouldn't surprise me to see a red rock on this 10-cost Newgate to basically negate the field. But the problem when you're at 9 Dawn is now you just have 3 Dawn floating around to be whatever, right? You have no Marcos to be able to play with, right? Because you need 4 Dawn for that play, or really many searches. So maybe try to utilize the Otamas to pick back up later with the other Jozu in his hand. So goes ahead and starts off swinging 7,000 at life. We could see an 8,000 power swing at life with the ace, and so is going to use the Ezo effect to draw 1 card and bottom deck 1 card. Just finds another Garp, right? Had 3 Garps in the hand, looking like advantage on the left side for sure at this point, and goes ahead with the 1k, or actually I think used leader effect to get out of that swing. Use leader effect to minus on the Jozu. There's a gnat flying around for me. And so is going to use the Otama to filter out the hand. Does find a Roger, which could be pretty good in this matchup, right? So with 2 Dawn left, probably going to be attaching 1 at least to active. Maybe try to feint a Radical Beam or play the other Otama in hand. But for now, he'll swing 7. So now with the 7,000 power swing, actually does not have a ton of counter in hand. No 2Ks at this point. So is going to go ahead, take that life, pass off the turn. Or I'm sorry, play the Otama. Thought he was going to pass off the turn. Now drawing 2. Pitches the Newgate, passes off the turn. Wait, didn't he slam the Newgate? Oh, no, you don't get the plus 2,000 power unless you take the life. That's right. I was like, wait, how did he get life? Anyways, chat. Now on a full 10 Dawn turn, we could see another 8-cost I Am Whitebeard event come down to go ahead and grab that other blocker, or the 9-cost, a second 9-cost in the hand. Is going to go ahead, play the blocker, though, to once again draw 2, trash 1, and attach 2 Dawn to a leader and character. Did find a Marco, but pitches the Yamato. Probably think about playing the Marco in a future turn. Now swinging 8,000 power at lead, I think. I don't think he's swinging at the Jozu. So this is the only swing that you can expect coming from the right side on this turn. Right Vista not going to be a threat. The little 1K blocker is sticking on the field, like I said earlier. So now is just going to use the the leader effect to minus 2,001K out of it. Gets rid of the Roger. So playing an Ezo here on the right side. Really got to remember my lefts and rights while casting this game. Is going to be looking for a Whitebeard Pirate. Sees Jozu and Marco and picks up a Marco. Already had one Marco in hand, so now has two of them. And with the Garp is going to be doing some more search. We see a Red Rock in that search right there. See a Thatch, cannot grab the Thatch. A Goldie Roger. So I think is really thinking about Goldie Roger or a Red Rock. Right, I already talked about kind of the importance of Red Rock in this matchup, especially with those 10 drops. But Goldie Roger could be important as well. It's passing off to the left side here. It's got a lot of 2K Otamas on the field right now. Has been doing a ton of drawing in this game. I know, somebody needs to get rid of this one gnat that's in my office right now before I burn down this whole building. Could be worse, though. Thank goodness we don't have, like, a bug problem in this place. Because I am deathly allergic to cockroaches, fun fact. Well, maybe not deathly. I am allergic. I just like to be dramatic and say deathly. But anyways, 10 Dawn out for this player on the left side. Is going to go ahead with that 6K swing and use leader effect. Pitch out one of those Marcos. So now on the ace, playing 6. Is going to go ahead with another Jozu to pick up Otama and his own Garp. Play out the Marco, pass off the turn. Just building up the counter, right? Doesn't really want to remove any of his searchers or the Vista in hand. So just opts to get his own counter back. So now we're seeing the ace on the right side. Did have a 10-drop Newgate survive on the turn. Has Jozu's of his own as well as a Red Rock. Does have 1-drop searchers to be able to utilize the Jozu effect and remove one of the other Jozus on the field or the Marco. I think Marco probably the better target, I think, at this point. And so is going to go ahead, pick up that Garp, and put the Marco back into the hand. Attach 2 of the 4 active Dawn left and swing 8,000 power. 17 minutes to go in this game. And so now with an 8,000 power swing is probably going to be like a leader effect 1K, I think, at this point. The final 2 aces left in this top 4. One will be making it to the finals, but they'll have to face up against Bonnie or UP Luffy, one of the two. And so here we go with the leader effect, minus 2,000 power and a 1K Atmos to get out of the swing, and goes ahead aggressive swing with the Newgate, putting down the right or the left side to 1 life, and then with the rest of the 2 Dawn, plays out the Uta from starter deck 23. That Shanks starter deck is a great card after you've played your Newgates, right? Because if you have a 10,000 power or more character on field, the Uta is minus 4 cost in hand, so you're able to play it off 2. Excellent on a 10 Dawn turn to go the 8-drop I Am Whitebeard event into a 2-drop Uta, right, to be able to get multiple blockers on the field. So Ace now, I think Ace now has another Goldie Roger in hand as well as a Red Rock. Wonder if he's thinking about doing like Red Rock into no, he pitched the Marco. I keep thinking I'm going to slam the Nat, and then I lose it. And so starts out swinging 7,000 power at lead. Is going to go ahead, utilize the Ezo effect, draw one card, and put one to the bottom. Finds another 4-cost Marco, so goes ahead and bottom decks that one. But with the 7,000 power swing, is going to have to still get out of this or take the life. Hasn't committed any Dawn anywhere up to this point. You've got 2 blockers on the field in the Uta and also the Vista. So thinking about using leader effect to put the Jozu down to 5,000 power. Pitching the Edward Newgate. So is going to do exactly that on that turn. Still another Jozu and a leader to swing with. So now going in with the Jozu, another 7. This one might prompt a block, I think. Or he could go 2-1, or just a 2 with the Uta. So is going to 2 with the Uta. Is looks like he's about to rest 5 or 6. Split up 6 and 4. I really feel like Red Rock is a route right now. So is going to do 1 first on the Garp. Is looking around, finds an Atmos, finds an I Am Whitebeard event. Is going to grab an Atmos. The Atmos might be nice if there's an opposing Marco that hits the field. Attaches 1, swings 7,000 power at lead. Is going to have to command 2K or a life. I would imagine the ace probably taking a life here. I don't think you want to give up 2 1Ks right now. You've already used your leader effect. I don't even think Jozu got printed in PRBO2, right? Which is absurd to me. But ends up using the Vista block. One of the 2 blockers. And now the Red Rock bottom decking a Newgate and leaving the right side of the field with just a Jozu and Uta. Goes in with another Garb search. Tries to look for some cards. Finds an Uta. Right? A nice 2K to have. So confirming 4 cards left in hand. Picks up the Uta. Passes off the turn with 1 open. Has had that Radical Beam in hand for a while now. I know, Atmos getting an alternate art's wild. I just wish they put Jozu in PRBO2 because it was so good in Dofi. So now if you're the Newgate, if you're the right side, just playing another Newgate down, just filtering the hand yet again. And getting the rested Dawn onto your leader and character. Is going to go ahead pitch the non-counter Marco. As they draw an Uta and what looks like a Radical Beam. So did find a little bit of counter, but because you committed all 10 Dawn, that Radical Beam at this point might as well be a brick. And with the 8,000 power swing, does have to try to get out of this one. Is going to go ahead, use Radical Beam to go to 10,000 power and passes, actually, wait. I think he countered out of the first one and then Radical Beam the 9,000 power Jozu swing. We just didn't see what happened on the leader's swing, countering out of that. So now the Jozu going in with a swing. 7,000 power. Is thinking about a free block on the Newgate. The I Am Whitebeard event going out and playing the blocker Newgate. So going to be drawing 2 and trashing 1 of his own before attaching the Dawn. I think it's a really interesting mirror match. It might not be my favorite, but I've seen worse mirror matches. And so now after attaching swing 8 with lead over at leader, still 2 swings to think about with the other Jozu that's online. Is thinking about 1K and 1K. Wait, 1K, 1K? Jozu Garp? Maybe he was swinging at the Jozu, actually. Maybe the leader swing going at the Jozu, right? Because 2 1Ks does get out of that swing. The Jozu, wherever they swing, prompting the block. And then the Uta coming down with the final 2 done, as I mentioned earlier. A great combination with the I Am Whitebeard event. 2 big blockers on the field. 4 cards in hand for the player on the left. Still 1 life. Still has to get through this right side. A Jozu in the hand. Maybe not going to do too much. Also has the Red Rock themselves. The Red Rock could be nice to bottom deck that new gate and put on the pressure. Oh, he used leader ability. Oh, he used leader ability and then 1K. Gotcha. Thank you, chat. Leader ability 1K and then Jozu going ahead and swinging. And then block. Thank you, thank you. This is the top 4 round, Mo. So is going to go ahead, Red Rock that new gate. Now the swings can be flowing in. No free blocks at this point. An 8,000 power swing, probably at lead, if I had to take a guess. So how long do you utilize this Roger? Especially with Dawn up, you got to think, do they have the Radical Beam or not? Right? Because if you go ahead and slam Roger, sure, you can nullify the 10-drop new gate that's on the field. But you only have 6, 7, 7, and a 13 to swing with to try to get through 2 life and a leader effect that minuses 2,000 power. Yeah, like this is a pretty close game right now. So going in, it looks like just 2K, 1K to get out of that swing. Or wait, leader effect 2K? Wait, swings 8. Ace was 6. So 2K, 1K goes to 9. Yes. Now the ace leader swinging another 8 right here. You're running out of cards in hand. He only has 2 cards in hand right now. Still has 1 blocker in the Uta. Is advantage looking to the right side right now? Yeah, I know there's so many numbers. When you majored in 7s, right, touchdowns, and not math, it's really hard being dyslexic. So is going to take this life right here, his final life, draw 1 off the leader effect, and the new gate going in aggressive, swinging with the block, putting the ace basically on a clock now. He does draw a Marco, so can get a Marco down. He's got 2 2Ks in hand. It's got a leader effect. And a Marco that can potentially draw cards if there's no removal. The Jozu coming in with an 8,000 power swing. Going to be taking the first life, drawing 1. The Red Rock only bottom decks a 4 cost. So unfortunately can't interact with Jozu. So now a 10,000 power swing. I think he's going to attach the rest of the Dawn to ace and try to go for a game because of this new gate being sideways. I think he's going to be able to get out of it with the Radical Beam, 2 2Ks in hand. So the right side. Thinking about the order of what he should take things in. Still 5 minutes left. Is going to take the final life. It's Gold D. Roger. But with the 3, 6, 11,000 power swing, the Radical Beam going to get him to 10. And an Otama 2K is going to get him. 2K 1K is going to get him out. And he concedes. Player on the right side coming out with the win. It was scary. And I thought he lost the advantage in the middle of that game, but ended up clawing his way through. That matchup is all about timing when you play Jozu, when you play Whitebeard, when you play Red Rock. Those are like the 3 most important cards I feel like in the mirror match. That was a crazy game, chat. Take notes. I hope you took notes on that game. More reveals? Maybe. I don't know. The finals are next, chat. We will be streaming the finals. We will be staying awake. Even though I'm competing in the online regional in about 4 hours, chat. I will be live in like 4 hours again for the online regional. I'm going to try to get like 3 hours of sleep before I try to play green-purple Luffy in the online regional. I mean, going second does give you an advantage. But he was pretty close to losing that game. I also don't really enjoy playing mirrors, Jason. I will say that I also don't enjoy playing mirrors. Four hours is going to be midnight for you, Spartan? This is a new tournament that they're doing, chat. Or an upcoming tournament. Chance Kotetsu and also Cop. Thank you so much for following over on Twitch. Whoa, chat, the Serial Zoro. Looks like they're getting it in this. Is this the 7-pack battle? I think this is the 7-pack battle, chat, right? No way they get a Serial Zoro for the 7-pack battle. No shot, right? Ooh, chat, we did get the Jimbe. We did get the Jimbe translation. Let me pull it up for you guys, and I'll keep the stream open in case they reveal anything crazy. Jimbe, activate main. You may trash 1 card from your hand, give up to 2 rested Dawn cards, one of your Fishman or Merfolk type leaders or character cards. Note, chat, that this is not a once per turn. Are activate mains usually once per turn? Wait, hold on. This is a silly question. Ooh, Chad, these are the McDonald's promos that got rescheduled from McDonald's because they sold out so fast in McDonald's, and now they're giving it away in something else. Jump scare Zoro. Ooh, look at this. Look at this full art, chat. I like this full art Luffy. Is it? I don't know if it's flagship or like 7-pack battles. I bet it's a flagship, if anything. Yeah, and our November Treasure Cups. For the West, it's for the November Treasure Cups. So, chat, we know Ace is in the finals. Place your bets, chat. Do you think it's going to be Bonnie or Luffy? What do you think made the finals? What is this? Starter deck 22? Hopefully Bonnie. I would actually love to see the Bonnie versus Ace matchup. I would love to see that. I haven't watched too much Bonnie versus Ace. Oh yeah, Chad. It is confirmed on Twitter that the Zoro's getting distributed flagship battles. The old McDonald's promos packs are standard battles, and that yellow Luffy, the full art Luffy, was the winner card. No, it's a standard battle, not the how to play events, or maybe for us it's how to play events. I don't know. Jimbe now tier 0. Yeah, the blue one's standard battles. I think Bonnie is still fine. I think I said in my OP13 tier list that I still thought that Bonnie was a good deck. It's just, it's not part of the big 3. Oh, this is the how to play events. Oh, got it. This is the how to play events. I just put 2 and 2 together. I need them to hurry up and start this finals so that I can go to bed and get a little bit of sleep. Because I'm like, I have to wake up at like 6:15. Because dang, if I don't shower before the tournament, chat, I'm gonna be angry all tournament. The blue Jimbe got translated in our Discord. Brayden, if you want to check the link in the description on YouTube, join our Discord. But basically what it says is you give 2 rested Dawn, like you trash a card in hand, you give 2 rested Dawn to a Fishman leader or character. You play SEC Kaido and then pop leader effect 4 times. No, wait, don't you have to... Doesn't it have to be a Fishman... Yeah, it has to be a Fishman leader or character. I guess you could do it on your... you could do it on your leader. Bonnie ended up making the finals, Chad. So it's going to be a Bonnie versus Ace matchup. Going to be really curious, right, to see how this green Bonnie does with that leader effect of being able to rest any card, character, or leader, especially when the 10-drop Newgate's coming down, the 4-drop Marco's coming down. Going to be interesting to see how this goes. Oh, Croc just got translated too? Bonnie will take it all. Chad, leave your guesses who you think's going to win. I have no idea. Yeah, you could just boost your leader. I was going to say, like, no, you can't boost it on the Kaido because it's not a merfolk or Fishman, but you could just do it on your leader, right? Because you just drew 4 cards. So you could just, like, you probably have 5 cards in hand at least after playing a 4-drop draw Kaido. So you could just, like, pitch all the cards in hand. Can you use a Pokemon sleeve in the tournament? I don't think so. I think it has to be like official. It has to be either solid color sleeves or official One Piece trading card game Bandai sleeves. I'm pretty positive about that. You'd have to check the rule book, and the rules differ between the East and the West, but I'm pretty sure that's the rule. You might just be able to use any sort of Bandai sleeves. The Ace, starting out with a couple different searches, right, with those 1-drop Izos, has a bit of draw in the Yamato and the Marco, and an 8-cost I Am Whitebeard event in the hand. We'll see if he ends up blocking with the Marco. 2 carrots in this Bonnie's hand. They've also got the Zoro, right, from EBO2. Also has got that 1-drop Bonnie Searcher and 2-drop Koshiro as well. So Ace ended up going first in this game. Bonnie's going to be able to spin with that 1-drop to do a little bit of early game searching. But we'll see how the rest of this goes. I'm super curious to see how this goes. And here we are, chat, the finals of the Japan Championships. Ace going off first is going to go ahead with the Izo. Go ahead and draw that top 5. Going to be looking for a Newgate, it looks like. Going to be the blocker Newgate of the 2 that they want. And pass off the turn. Bonnie now does find a Kid and Killer off the top of the deck. We know that this Bonnie has been playing a little bit of Supernova stuff in this deck. We'll see if he decides to play the Kid and Killer or the 1-cost Bonnie. The 1-cost Bonnie would net an attack, right? But maybe because the 1-cost Bonnie... The 1-cost Bonnie has 0 power, right? Or has 1,000 power. Interesting. But off of the Kid and Killer does find that Supernova Cavendish. Cavendish going to be very, very good, right? To be able to reutilize Dawn, get a Dawn consistently on the Bonnie to be able to swing 6,000 power at lead. The Ace going in, swinging 7,000 power. Is going to get Bonnie to take their first life. Going to be a Koshiro right there. Another Izo to round out the turn, potentially. And try to find another Whitebeard Pirate card. Finds a couple Marcos and a 10-drop. That's going to be 2 Marcos going to the bottom of the deck. I think that's 3 in total. And with the 3rd Izo, it's going to be looking at a lot of cards to start this game. Is going to be setting up his hand. You cannot complain. Sees a Jozu in there. Jozu's going to be really nice to be able to bounce out, right? Something like the Cavendish or Carrot that gets played on the 6th Dawn turn. I don't know if Bonnie played. I don't know. I would imagine that they probably played at least 1 emu, but there weren't very many emus in the top cut. I don't know what the bracket looked like, but there were only 3 emus in top 16. It was the 3rd highest deck behind Ace and Zoro. Ace dominated this tournament. I don't think you need the music events. And so Bonnie attaching 1 and swinging 6 at lead is going to try to net a card either through leader effect or a 1K out of hand. It's going to be that Marco on the leader effect. Dang it, did not get that fly. And so has 3 done left. Is thinking about tapping 1 for a Bonnie. Maybe try to search with that Bonnie now, or maybe try to play the Koshiro blocker. Could just play both of them, actually. But if you spin with the Bonnie, you will be able to utilize leader effect. But I don't think you need to utilize leader effect at this point. I don't think you're really worried about the Izos swinging at you, especially as 0 power characters. So is going to play down that Bonnie and go ahead and search with it. Again, just try to build up the hand of the pieces that you're trying to look for. Does find... What did they grab? It looks like they drew the Law and Beppo. So this was a card that I was testing out in Rosinante. Is such a cool card. The 10-cost Law and Beppo coming in the Bonnie starter deck. Going to be a really nice card with that on play of resting any one of your opponent's characters or leaders. Then, if your opponent has 2 or more rested characters on the field, your leader gains plus 2,000 power, and that character that you rested cannot come active in the next turn. So very nice in this matchup, I feel like, to be able to rest the new gates and nullify them for multiple turns, but make you a 7,000 power leader to be able to compete with something like the Ace, right, being a 6K. So very, very cool stuff going on right now in this Ace. Playing down the Yamato to be able to draw, and also clearing out that Bonnie Searcher is going to go ahead now on the 6 Dawn turn. Could go ahead, play something like Cavendish to be able to restand and reutilize Dawn, right? Maybe be able to play a Koshiro as well. You still have 1 Dawn that you could utilize. The Shanks, the 9-cost Shanks, could be a very interesting card to play in this matchup, right? Being able to KO any rested character. So now with just a 5K swing over at the Izo. Wait, does he draw off that? Oh no, use the Izo effect. I'm sorry. I thought at first he used the leader effect. And I was like, wait, no, that doesn't work. But no, he swung at the Izo, forcing Izo to use the leader effect to just trash the character and nullify the swing in general. And so with the Cavendish and Koshiro, as I was talking about, is going to have 1 Dawn open. I think I got the little frickin' bug. I don't think I did. I'm losing my mind in the finals chat. He's going to start out into the 7 Dawn turn now, attaching 1-2 lead and swinging at life right here with the 7,000 power swing potentially. Maybe doesn't want to get this Yamato rested, right? Could be a target for a carrot, and resting that Yamato is going to take it sideways and take the life right here. Put the Bonnie down to 3, and the Jozu picking up the Izo is going to get that Cavendish off the field and moving it into the Bonnie's turn. Now Bonnie on the draw, has plenty of cards in hand. Could go ahead with that carrot, right? The carrot would be able to freeze the Yamato, kind of nullify it on the field. This is the finals, by the way. Has a lot of cards in hand. So on the 8 Dawn turn, is thinking about how to distribute the Dawn. No really other threats on the field, but starts out swinging 6 with Yamato, or 6 at Yamato, I'm sorry. So the 6 at Yamato is going to go ahead and get the 1K Izo out of hand to get the Trafalgar Law. So the Trafalgar Law, didn't see him draw that for a turn, is going to be able to pick up the Kid Killer Searcher and play down potentially the carrot at this point for free. I don't know if he needed to, right? Because he was able to establish the Koshiro because of the Cavendish. I don't know if it was wrong, but I don't think it was bad. I am a little surprised, though, that he's playing the Cavendish right here to get the 2 Dawn active to play another Koshiro down onto the field as this Yamato now restands going into the 9 Dawn turn. I mean, you got to think, though, this Bonnie heading into the finals had to take down at least 1 ace in the matchup. So there's maybe something that I don't know that he's thinking about. And so getting a little bit ahead of himself on that 8-drop event is going to play the 10-drop Newgate, draw 2 and trash 1. Remember, you got to play that Newgate down onto the field first before you do a little bit of drawing. Is thinking about pitching a Marco in the hand. Is thinking about holding on to this Goldie Roger. So pitching the Uta, actually, a 2K, is going to give 2 Dawn to the Jozu and the Ace. And so with the Ace swing, You got to think that potentially the Law and Beppo could come down in the next turn since the Bonnie's on the even curve and go to 10. Right, so your new gate probably going to be proactively rested. The leader effect on Bonnie either hitting Jozu or Yamato, whichever one doesn't swing, right? So the Yamato here more than likely. I think you always rest the Yamato here with leader effect, right? Or you could the leader, actually. You might do the leader because the Yamato would only swing 7, whereas the ace swings 8. So goes ahead to rest the leader with the leader effect, but takes the 9,000 power swing and goes down to 2. The Yamato swinging 7,000 power now over at lead, prompting the first Koshiro block. And passing off the turn, Cavendish staying alive is going to be able to restand 2, especially if a Law Beppo comes down on this turn, would be able to proactively rest and freeze the Edward Newgate. Is putting it out towards the front. I think he's going to do it. Getting down this Law and Beppo, going to be able to freeze the Newgate, is going to be able to set him up in a situation because that Newgate is frozen into the Bonnie's next turn. Sets up a Cavendish play on the next turn. Or a Shanks play, I'm sorry. A 9-cost Shanks play on the next turn to be able to get rid of that guy on the field. Cavendish now on the 6K swing, restanding 2 is going to prompt the Ezo effect to draw 1 and bottom deck 1 card, looking like the Marco right here, just clearing out the bricks after getting the 2K. Is just going to need a 1K to get out of this swing and is thinking about pitching the Ezo Searcher. So many Ezo Searchers he's seen this game. And getting on the aggressive. Swinging with the Trafalgar Law. Getting rid of the Otama. And so now the Bonnie, a 7,000 power leader through the aces next turn. May attach 1 and go ahead and swing 8. Just to be able to force, multiple cards out of hand. With the 7K swing, it's only just a 2K to get out of it, but an 8K swing would be a leader effect 1K or a 2K 1K to get out. Try to minimize the amount that this ace has in the hand. Especially the ace still really healthy at 3 life. Still full of life in this game with the Bonnie down to 2, but could go downhill fast if ace is not careful. So now with an 8,000 power swing, ace really been protecting life at this point. Might take this one just to draw another card going down to 2. And so is just going to go 2K, 1K to get out of there. Uta and the Garp. The Newgate is still sideways, still rested. Does not restand. There we go. But still has the Jozu, Yamato, and ace to be able to work with. Could just go a flat 10 for another Newgate blocker right here. And then we'll see if he rests the Newgate blocker if that comes down on the leader effect. So there we go, drawing 2 and trashing 1 yet again, as we've seen from the ace in this tournament. Draws into an Atmos and a Kingdu. Is his name Kingdu, chat? I can't remember. A 2K, I know that he is. So thinking about pitching the Atmos, right? Atmos not really helping you at this point in the game. 2 Dawn to the ace, 2 Dawn to the Jozu. So he's got to think about yet again what he tries to swing with first. There is a possibility, like if he swings with Jozu first, that the Newgate could be rested, right? Negating all the blockers on the field. He-Man. And so with the leader effect on the 9K swing from Jozu is going to go ahead with the ace. Does not go ahead and rest the Newgate blocker. The Law and Beppo, an 11,000 power character that's going to be swinging in this coming turn, is going to go ahead and take another life. Already go down to 1, a nice 2K in the hand, and pass off the turn. Does not swing with the Yamato because the Bonnie was 7,000 power, right? Yamato only is 6K. So draws another 2K for turn. He's got so many 2Ks. A pudding would do huge for this ace right now. And so with a full 10 Dawn turn, 1 Newgate sideways, Jozu there as well. Could see something along the lines of a 9-drop Newgate. Go ahead, pop. Or 9-drop Shanks, pop the Newgate. And then Cavendish can restand a couple Dawn to be able to swing elsewhere on this board. Yo, Moonba, hope you're being safe. Captain Crunch, oops, all 2Ks. Oops, all 2Ks in hand. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me for the finals. The 9-cost Shanks comes down, KOs the Newgate, and still 1 Dawn as active. Because the Newgate was KO'd, ace drawing off of the leader effect. Still healthy at 3 life. That's one thing that the Bonnie eventually has to deal with, but the Trafalgar Law now, that 6-cost body on the field because Bonnie is at 1, is a blocker now because of that 1 or less life condition. So Bonnie now sitting with 2 blockers on the field in the Koshiro and Trafalgar Law. So 1 active Dawn left to be able to attach to the Cavendish is going to restand 2. It's now going to be a 7,000 power at lead. Only 5 cards in hand is going to go ahead and block with the Newgate. You're not really worried about potentially another free swing or something like that. I think the only thing that you're probably thinking about is this Law and Beppo swinging at one of your characters like Jozu on the field. So this Law and Beppo 11,000 power swinging now at the Jozu. I think he can actually get out of it if he wanted to. With a leader effect on the 8-cost event, 2K, 1K. Would be able to put him to 10 with the Law and Beppo on the -2 on the leader effect going to 9. So what do you do here if you're the ace? Do you let this go? You can't let this go, right? If you let this go, you set yourself up with like Hody Jones to lose. Right? Because there's Law Beppo, there's Shanks. And there's the a swing potentially from leader and Hody Jones in the next turn. I mean, he's got a fat hand. I think this is a tricky spot for ace. Because even though he's still sitting at 3 life, like, I don't know, I feel like he could go downhill fast. Like, I almost feel like you have to let this Jozu go, and then you need a counter out of the leader swing or something. So lets it go. The 1 Dawn attached to the Bonnie, a 6K at lead. Yeah, Bonnie in the driver's seat of this game, for sure, in my opinion. Is just going to 1K out of it, potentially, with the Ezo search. Do you ever, though, keep the Ezo, right, to look for maybe a Newgate to use on the I Am Whitebeard event? So is going to Ezo out of that swing. Trafalgar Law now getting aggressive. He's pretty confident he's not going to lose. Forcing another card out of hand. Has not utilized his leader effect, I don't think. Did he use? No, I don't think he utilized his leader effect on this turn. So I think still has access to that if he wants to. So ends up using that, pitching the 8-cost I Am Whitebeard event, and finding another one on the draw. The event is nice and it's a great event, but doesn't really matter when you don't have any Whitebeards to play. And so especially now with one done up on the Bonnie side, you know that something's getting rested, so you have to swing with this Newgate. Pudding would be really good right here for sure, but I don't think it would be a game ender. So is going to rest the Yamato and go ahead and block. Because, like, see, he still doesn't lose here. Even if there was a pudding, it would just be a less likely scenario for the ace heading into Bonnie's turn to have a Hody Jones to play, right? So the ace, you got to think about what number you got to swing. You just blast him and put him down to 0? You blast him, put him down to 0, and leave 3 up for potentially getting a Radical Beam off life? Because Hody Jones will rest 2 done. You still have 1 active. This is best of 1 top cut. They play Swiss through the rounds, and then they go to top 16 for top cut bracket. So now swings a lot. Swings 12,000, 13,000 at lead. I think you could go to 0. Could you go to 0? I think he's thinking of countering out of it. And he does have to hit 4 times. So shows off 4 2Ks and a 1K. 9,000 counter to get to 14. And the 2 for the Uta passing off the turn. Hody Jones would be incredible off the top deck right now. Did not find Hody Jones. But once again, Trafalgar Law as a blocker is now active. Carrick going to be able to rest or freeze the Yamato, and then leaving 1 done up is only going to really generate 1 swing in the next turn. We just have different rules, Anime Outcasts. That's just how they want to do it. Most all the card games that I see in Japan are best out of 1. Yeah, like the one-day regionals in the West are just Swiss, no top cut. Do you just like play carrot here? Do you just swing with these big bodies? You kind of just ignore board, swing at face a ton? Oh, but can you lose to Roger? No, you can't lose to Roger. No, he swings 12 with Newgate. No, because you always block Law, right? Before he plays the Roger. So swing 7 with Bonnie first. 7 with Bonnie could just be the King Do 2K that you have in hand, or a I Am Whitebeard leader effect. Still 5.5 minutes left in this game. This game probably will conclude even with overtime, because I think Ace has just got one more turn. Ends up pulling that first life, drawing one off the effect. 2 1Ks. Yeah, definitely got to think about Roger in this game. That's why he countered out of the final swing. The 13 from the Ace to not go down to 0 and lose to a Roger. Yeah, you just like carrot to freeze the Yamato. Maybe add a little Dawn, swing with Cavendish. Restand 2. Oh, swing Bear with Cavendish. Restanding 2 Dawn. Probably, is he thinking about playing Koshiro? Just another blocker? No way. So with the 6K swing, you can have the ability to Garp or Jozu out of the swing. Jozu could also get rid of the Trafalgar Law if you wanted to. I feel like we could have attached more Dawn to this Cavendish and swung. Just don't put Ace to 0. Yeah, for Roger. You just try to keep him at 1. As soon as he takes this life, you just stop swinging. So it ends up 1K Garp out of the swing. Still has 6 Dawn to work with. Is going to swing with the Trafalgar Law. No, I don't think you swing with the Trafalgar Law. Maybe you do. I guess you're confident. Can you get out of 12, 13? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? You can't get out of 12 and 13, right? Unless he plans on playing the 2-cost Koshiro right here. He's got to be playing the 2-cost Koshiro. So takes that first life. Swinging with the Law and Beppo. Is going to be leader effect. Oh, swinging at the new gate. He swung at the new gate. Just -2 on the Law Beppo. Or 1K out of it. 1K out of it. Because it's 12 and 12. Now the swing into the new gate. Again, just a 2K. And then the Koshiro pass. Oh, he's picking at the new gate. Interesting. Still forcing cards out of hand, right? Especially to go for game in the next turn. So I actually don't hate it too much. Because now he's like, now I just go for game next turn, right? Because he swings like the new gate. He rests the ace, right? He can just block with the Koshiro. And then if the Roger comes down, he's chilling. But he's got another 8-cost Newgate and 10-cost combo in hand. I don't know if it would be enough for him to get the game. 1 minute left on the clock before we hit overtime. I mean, even if you play the 10-cost Newgate, the leader effect on Bonnie is resting the other 10 cost Newgate, right? He's just hard playing the 10 cost Newgate. Not leaving any up for Radical Beam. Finds 2 Jozus. Ends up putting 2 and 2. Do you just pass? Yeah, he just passed. Doesn't swing at all. Do you have the math to be able to get out of this? No top deck Hody Jones. No, because he has Goldie Roger in hand, you don't want to put you don't want either player to go to 0. You only want to put a player to 0 if you're going for game on that turn. Yeah. So I think it was fine to leave the ace at 1 because you didn't want him to like slap down the Roger. But I guess even, yeah, what? No, because he can't swing with the Uta then, because Uta's only 4. Did it matter? I guess he could have tried to put him down to, I guess he was maybe trying to get that Newgate off the field if he could. It was very smart for the ace not to swing here. 100%. Yeah, this is a long game. This is a grindy one. I mean, you can still get some big swings as the Bonnie here because you have Shanks, you have Law and Beppo, right, which are 2 11,000 power swings right then and there. You've got Carrot to eat a swing. Do we really want to swing 6s here? Ends up 1K'ing out of that one. I feel like the move was not to swing 6. So he's got 3 blockers on the field. Disagree, Psycho. I think this meta is actually really skill expressive. I think the better players win. So is going to go ahead with the Supernova search, try to find another blocker. Finds 2 Bonnies and a Cavendish and another card. Looks like a stun Bonnie. So he could go stun Bonnie here, chat. If he goes stun Bonnie and plays down the stun Bonnie, he can put the ace to 9 Dawn. So then he can't play Roger. I don't think he's playing 8 cost Kid. We haven't seen it yet. And he's done a fair amount of searching. This stun Bonnie could be huge. He could nullify Roger entirely. Because remember, the Yamato is stunned from the Carrot swing. This guy's cooking. So restands 2 Dawn through the Cavendish swing. Just another little 6. Gets the 1. All he has to do is just leave 1 Dawn up as active, right? Now he can try to pressure him and go down to 0. Because he has Stun Bonnie and he's not afraid of Roger again. So now here we go with the Law and Beppo, 11,000 power. Goes down to 0. The Newgate draws 1 off leader effect. It's a 2K. I don't know if that matters. goes with the 5 for the stun Bonnie, chat. The stun Bonnie going ahead, freezing one of the Dawn, so then only Ace has 9 active Dawn and plays the EBO2 Zoro, or PRBO2 Zoro. Nice little blocker there. Well, he's got another blocker now, Mike, so the math is a little bit different. The Ace could, at this point, go Jozu, pick up, like, Yamato or something, to put either the Koshiro or the Zoro blocker in hand. He would still lose one body on the freeze, and he would have to use the rest of his 3 Dawn with Uta, Newgate, and Ace to be able to get the win. And he's got to hit 2 of those 3 times with only 4 cards in hand. So you probably always push back the Koshiro, right, if you go with the Jozu play. He also has Red Rock. Do you go Red Rock or Jozu? I don't think it matters. Okay, bottom deck's the Zoro. But you only have 3 Dawn left. You need to hit twice. And one of your Newgates are being rested. As soon as you swing with one Newgate, the other is being rested. But with the 3 Dawn, on the 9 swing... Wait, no, can you swing 9 with Ace? So swinging 6 here, rest the Newgate. You rest the Newgate and you go 1K, 1K, right? You go 1K, 1K, you get out of that swing. I don't think the Ace can really do anything now. Sure, 7, take this life, Newgate, block, and then that's it. Bonnie's going to win. I don't think Ace has enough. No, Ace does not have enough counter for an 11K Law and Beppo and a Shanks. I think he was dead if he didn't do anything. If he didn't swing, I think he would be dead. You rest the, or you bottom deck? Hold on. So you guys are saying, like, you bottom deck the Zoro and then you just pass? You just give Bonnie another turn? We'll post it in the Discord, Ago. I'm pretty sure, like, this was his final turn, chat. They were in overtime. This was, like, his final turn. If anything, Bonnie was the only one that had a turn left. I don't think it didn't matter whether he kept it up or not. I don't think it was checkmate due to the time rules. It was checkmate because he had 2 blockers. I don't think if you red rock an 11K swing, I don't think it changes anything. The Bonnie list will be, Chad, the Bonnie list will be in our Discord server. They always post the top lists, especially first and second, so I will post both of these lists in the Discord server. Yeah, I mean, he had to go for game because of the overtime rules. So whether he red rocked this and swung or red rocked this and didn't swing did not matter because he loses. And the way that he had his hand, he had enough counter to just get out of either the Uta swing or the Ace swing with the leftover Dawn. Yes, now I need to go to bed, chat. Chat, that's going to be all for me. Bonnie wins. Again, if you want to join the Discord server to see the deck list, I will post it. Check out the description below to be able to see the deck list. Link to the Discord server is in there. I'm going to bed because in about 3.5 hours, I will be live again for the online regional, and I'm going to be tired, so I need to go to bed. Chat, thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more content. We will be live for the next 5 weekends doing Japan Championships. So if you want to watch a Japan Championship, you want English commentary, and you want a cool community to watch it with, make sure subscribe to the channel. We are less than 200 away, less than 150, almost 100, 120 YouTube subscribers until we hit 20,000, chat. So smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, all that jazz and bag of chips. I'm going to bed. Thank you so much for hanging out. Good night. Love you all. And we'll see you in the morning playing some GP Luffy before OP13 pushes him out of the meta.